Welcome, everybody, to a brand new Blu-ray and DVD out and about video today, and this week sees the dramatic musical retelling of West Side Story hitting store shelves, plus the comedy drama Red Rocket, and Vestron Video is releasing a collector's edition Blu-ray release of the two Corey classic Dream, a Little Dream, plus much more. So let's go see the deals, exclusives, and we are at our first location, Walmart. So let's go in and see what they got. All right, everybody, we are in at Walmart, and just when I thought they were getting back into the swing of things, they disappoint me yet again. God damn it. Seriously, man. This Walmart is so topsy-turvy. They were doing so well, and now so bad yet again. They have the banner up for West Side Story. Where is the new release law for West Side Story? Well, your guess is as good as mine, damn it, because they don't got any of it. Damn, man. Shit. Son of a bitch. I mean, they have the stuff from last week. They have Matrix Resurrections, they have Redeeming Love. A little Yellowstone action. Oh yeah, I forgot. They have Silent Night. Yeah, just what I wanted to see again. Jeez, they have that, but they don't have some new release goodness. West Side Story goodness. Seriously, the one major new release this week they don't have. Man, if they had Matrix, why not West Side Story? Man, I'm baffled by Walmart. I really am, man. Seriously baffled by this shit. As baffled as I am, still doesn't mean the media is out, because, yeah, I doubt they're going to be putting out anytime soon. Maybe next week. A week late, but then again, we've been down this road before, haven't we? Indeed we have. Well, we'll see how it all pans out next week, but this week, zippo, zilch, nada, nothing. And I thought it was getting better. Of course. Let's head out. The ever-loving battle to find physical media continues yet again because, well, not like we're finding anything here at Walmart. Damn it, man. 1 week, not so much, but I kind of didn't hate on them too much for it because there wasn't a lot coming out. Then last week, extremely plentiful. I'm like, okay, we're getting back into the swing of things, baby. And this week, I should have known better. I should have, damn it. I really hate to say it, but Walmart is going to be one of those gambles week in and week out, right? You think you know where they're going, you think they're going to show off the physical media love, and then they disappoint you. And then there will be weeks where you're like, well, they're not going to have anything, and then they really end up coming out of the gates and having a lot of wonderful media. I can't predict anything anymore. I can't predict shit, guys, to be honest with you. Especially with this Walmart. Yeah, I can't predict a goddamn thing, guys. And this week pretty much proves that. I thought West Side Story, big release, directed by Steven Spielberg. Everybody's gonna have it. Apparently not. Of course. Just my luck. Well, nothing here, even though I wanted there to be. Major disappointment vibes indeed. But there is other places, so hopefully they'll supply the physical media. All right, everybody, we are at our second location, Target. But before I go in, I got to talk to you guys about something. Now, there's been a lot of controversies with Disney over the years, right? Some are more justified than others, and others seem kind of pointless. Well, this is another one of those pointless ones, but I think it's still worth talking about. From Variety, Parents TV Council slams Disney Plus for adding Daredevil and more. It destroys your brand. Let's dive in, shall we? The Parents Television and Media Council is speaking out against Disney ahead of the March 16th edition of former Netflix Marvel series Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, The Punisher, and The Defenders on Disney Plus. All of these series are significantly more violent and adult in theme and subject matter compared to the other offerings in the Disney Plus library. The PTC warned Disney that streaming these series would destroy your brand. For more than 98 years, the Walt Disney Company has been synonymous with the words family-friendly. And I can think of no other corporation in American history that has been built more squarely on the backs and on the wallets of parents and families. Tim Winter, president of the Parents Television and Media Council, said in a statement, "The company's platform, Disney Plus, logically marketed itself as a family-friendly streaming service, and parents have placed their trust in Disney to deliver just that." Winter continued, "It seems wildly off-brand for Disney Plus to add TVMA and R-rated programming to this platform, ostensibly to increase subscription revenue. So what comes next? Adding live striptease performances in Fantasyland at Disney World? Damn. That kind of would make me want to go even more." Disney Plus is updating its parental control settings on March 16th in tandem with these TVMA series launching on the platform. The settings include an option to select content ratings restrictions for each profile and to add a pin to lock profiles. When the PTC applauded Disney Plus for improving their parental controls, the group said that the mere presence of MA and R-rated content violates the trust of families and may well turn them off entirely. There is no need for Disney Plus to compete with the explicit content on other streaming platforms. Disney is already at a competitive advantage with a streaming platform that is the safest one out there for families. Its foray into TVMA-rated fare will forever tarnish its family-friendly crown. The move to Disney Plus means Daredevil and all the other former Netflix Marvel series will be available to stream alongside other Marvel Cinematic Universe original series like Loki, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and many more. The Parents Television and Media Council is an organization that monitors and restores responsibility and decency to the entertainment industry in answer to America's demand for positive, family-oriented television programming. The group's website states the PTC has previously been behind campaigns to get Netflix to cancel 13 Reasons Why and HBO to cancel Euphoria due to each show's adult subject matter involving teens. However, neither network canceled the show despite PTC's urging. And damn glad for it. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. This is kind of interesting to me. This is really, really some fascinating stuff. So, now, out of all times, we care because they're literally putting the Marvel streaming shows on Disney Plus. Now we care. Like, seriously. Where were these motherfuckers when Netflix was putting this shit out to begin with? We don't care about that. We just now care because suddenly, it's Disney now that's actually having this content and not Netflix. I see. Now you give a damn. Okay, cool. Look, it wasn't this obvious, though. I mean, Disney was taking back a lot of its content from Netflix anyways. Eventually, they were going to take the Marvel shows. I didn't necessarily think they were going to put on Disney Plus. I thought maybe it would go on Hulu. I mean, Disney owns the majority share of that streaming service, so it would kind of make sense, more adult-oriented. But if you're going to have all of the cinematic stuff in one platform, you might as well put the Netflix Marvel shows on there as well. It does make sense, honestly. I don't know, though. I mean, the one thing I have a problem with nowadays, and it was the same thing when I was growing up, right? When I was growing up, my parents were in control of what I watched. They knew I was either going to be affected by what I watched or I was going to be safe from it. It should be the parent's obligation to know what's right and what's wrong for your child. Look, no one's showing their 5-year-old The Exorcist, okay? Well, let's hope they're not showing their kid The Exorcist. But, I mean, most parents know, okay, my 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever age, they can handle this certain type of content, right? Okay, makes sense. And Disney went out of its way to put the ratings on all this stuff, to end up putting new parental controls and pins so that parents could control what the kids watch. So they did their due diligence in doing that. Now it's up to the parents. Look, Disney Plus is a really great platform for everyone. Old school movie lovers, new people that are into the Disney live action animation stuff nowadays. And you want to bring in more people to the crowd, right? Because look, a streaming service needs more content. I've told you that God knows how many times, dude. And this is yet another example of it. I can't blame Disney for doing that because they're just doing more content to bring in the masses. And also, there's been a lot of love with these Netflix shows over the years. And the fact that now Daredevil, if you've seen Spider-Man No Way Home, is now officially part of the MCU, so it makes sense. There's rumors of Jessica Jones. That's gonna make sense. And so, in a lot of ways, Disney is already setting themselves up here to broaden their horizons within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but also their own brand at the same time. This is them dipping their toe in the water for mature content. I think this is a good way to do it. I mean, you're not going to do striptease at Fantasyland at Disney World. However, what's the harm of this? In all seriousness, because here's where Disney has to start to gamble. And I think they understand this, where you have a certain type of demographic that is going to watch Disney, right? And they start to grow out of that. And then they still want those subscribers around. They still want that base. So they have to give them something more to keep them intrigued. A little bit slightly extra mature content. I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing or not. I don't know. I mean, it's not like Jessica Jones is stripping and having sex on camera. It's not like Daredevil is snapping people's heads off and blood is pouring all over the place. I mean, it kind of feels like this council is literally saying these are so outrageously violent content and it's so majorly over the top and there's so much gore and craziness that these kids will be scarred for life. And I'm like, just calm down, man. Take a chill pill, will you? I mean, I don't know. I think that we're a little overdoing it with this. I mean, I understand maybe something like Euphoria, but even that, I'm like, there's a certain creative license to have within HBO, right? I mean, to just outright say, well, we're going to get rid of this content because we don't agree with it, we start to go down a very slippery slope at that point, don't we? For us to say what's good and bad for society, that's really taking it just a tad too far. I mean, look, I understand you want to protect children, and I understand that they are very impressionable. Kids are, trust me, that's why you monitor what they watch. But at the end of the day, it should be up to the parents to make that decision. Ultimately, it's on them. Yes, there's a certain responsibility from these streaming platforms, and I get that too, but as long as they're doing their due diligence with putting the ratings on and the parental locks and giving parents every single opportunity to shield their kids from it, then at that point, it's up to the parents to either sink or swim. That's really up to me at that point. Telling a network how to run their company, telling them what's good and bad, that's not exactly the easiest thing to do, and that loses a certain amount of creativity for artists, and there's a lot of companies that don't necessarily want to make all kid-friendly content, and Disney Plus will eventually be one of them. I think most of their stuff is heading towards Hulu anyways, but they're going to have to start picking and choosing what they're going to go for. I mean, think about this. The fact that Disney is going to make Deadpool 3, right? They're making it. And the idea that Deadpool has been an R-rated entity, and from all opinions, from what I'm hearing, they're going to stick to that R rating. And that will eventually go, I'm assuming, on Disney Plus. It's an R-rated content. It's Marvel Cinematic Universe property. So again, you know, Disney Plus is trying their hand at something interesting, trying to maybe be a little bit more diverse than just a kid friendly. As long as they give parents every opportunity to make it safe for their kids, then I see no reason to fault them or go against them. Trust me, there's a lot of things to go against Disney about. Trust me, there is, all right? This is not exactly one of them. And to take the creative aspect out of a streaming service or out of content creators, that just ends up kind of feeling really wrong to me. I get where this council is coming from. I respect that they're trying to protect kids. I really appreciate that. I think it's an honorable thing. But at the end of the day, you gotta pick and choose your battles the right way. And this one, I don't quite think is the right one to go for. I mean, let me know what you think about this. Do you think that Disney Plus has every right to put those on there? Or do you think they've gone too far? It's a slippery slope to go down. There isn't really a right or wrong answer, but you gotta just make sure that the battles that you're fighting are ones that are worthy to fight for. Some of them, not so much. Kind of curious to what you think about this one. Definitely let me know indeed. There is physical media love this week. Well, Walmart had jack shit, but maybe Target, they've been on our side for physical media love. Let's hope they do it again this time around. Let's go in, check it out. All right, everybody, we are in at Target, and, well, where Walmart disappoints us, Target achieves its goal. Oh, indeed it does. Maybe a little bit empty here and there, but it still does the trick. Let's dive in, shall we, with the DVD of West Side Story for $19.99, the Blu-ray digital for $24.99, and lest we forget a little bit of that Target exclusive love, the 4K Blu-ray digital for $34.99. This is actually very unique artwork. I'm definitely digging this. Not half bad, honestly. It comes with 2 limited edition foil etched prints. Nice. I know they've been doing the foil etched print stuff as of late, and so this is not half bad. I kind of like the design. I mean, this design's really great, obviously, with the 2 lovebirds, but this design is pretty great too, all things considered. Actually very classy, classic style artwork. Definitely dig this one. Not bad at all. Pretty damn sweet for all you West Side Story lovers out there, and I know there definitely is a lot of you indeed. Now, I got a chance to watch this in the movie theater with my mother, and we have this yearly tradition. Which actually, we've been doing it for a really, really long time, and way over a decade, and we go see a movie, and then we have little Chinese food on Christmas Day. Let's be real, folks. On Christmas, when you're Jewish, there ain't many places open that you can really go to. So it's a tradition for us. Actually, it's a tradition for many Jewish people out there. It really is. And so she always chooses the movie every single Christmas Day. She's the one that goes and does it. And there was a lot of ones to choose from. She chose West Side Story. And I think one of the reasons why she did was because, honestly, she's watched the original movie. She's watched it. She knows it. She loves it. So seeing a remake of it kind of intrigued her. She wanted to know exactly what it was about, what the differences might be. Is it all similar? Is it just a shot-for-shot remake? It kind of intrigued her, wanting to find out about that. So, have at it. We went to watch West Side Story. And honestly, if you know the story, it's pretty much about the Sharks and the Jets and the fighting over the territory and racial issues, and it all sort of comes to a bloody head. But in the middle of that is this romance between this Puerto Rican girl and this white American boy that is forbidden. It's forbidden love. It's not supposed to happen, not supposed to exist, and they are in danger of basically losing their lives, losing their love, losing each other, and the complications and the struggles of that, right? And all the musical glory in between, right? Sure. So after we ended up getting out of the movie, my mother and I said to ourselves, well, it was expertly executed. I mean, what that overall means, honestly, is that everything was so well done in the movie, from the sets to the costumes, the singing, the dancing. It was phenomenally well done, every single aspect. The money is on the screen. They definitely did their due diligence in really making this really special and a spectacle to see, and really doing something that you really wanted to see on the big screen. It shined in every way. And it's not like this movie is actually a complete down to every last word remake. I mean, it's not a shot for shot thing. There is extra added musical sequences, different placement of the songs in different areas compared to the original. So it's not like a Psycho or something where it's literally a shot for shot thing and you're like, what's really the point of this goddamn thing? No, it's not that at all. So there is a certain amount of creativity and license that they had compared to the original. But at the end of the day, even though it's really well done, I asked myself if it was really worth it. You know what I mean? I mean, it's good, it's a great companion piece, but it still has the same problems that the original movie from 1961 had. It still has all those same issues. It's not like they changed the script or anything. Still, the story, the characters, all of the plot elements, it's all the same at the end of the day. And I like the movie overall. I like that they flesh out the characters more, that you really get to understand the sharks a lot more and their motivations, and you get to understand the Jets and why they're doing what they're doing, and you end up actually understanding the motivations more. So that I do appreciate. But the one aspect of this movie that suffers, and it's the same aspect in the original, and that's the love story. Man, it really is, because as much as you like Maria and as much as you like Tony and there's chemistry there, the love story doesn't exactly fit at the end of the day. It felt too rushed to me. It felt underdone, not as developed. And I understand you only have a certain amount of runtime, 2.5 hours, and you can only do so much, and there's so many other characters and musical sequences, and you can devote only so much time to certain things. I get it. I understand it. Fair enough, man. But at the end of the day, I just kind of felt the love story is still really lacking. And one of the biggest complaints I have, and actually the same complaint that my mother had too, is the fact that, spoiler alert for West Side Story, if you haven't seen it, it's a great musical. Why haven't you seen the damn thing yet? But the idea that when Maria's brother gets killed by Tony accidentally in a rage, all that stuff goes on. And what ends up happening is that he goes back to Maria. Oh, I'm sorry, I killed him. I'm terribly sorry. It was an accident. And she's like, oh my God, you killed my brother. And you know, she's kind of in his arms, and they end up sleeping together. They have sex, and so I just sat there kind of baffled, because I'm thinking to myself, well, wait a minute, this guy just killed your brother that you've known for a really long time. He's family, and you just get right in bed with the dude? I mean, seriously. And it never felt right to me. It kind of felt wrong. It felt like they had to do it in order to set up for the ending, but to me, it never really played the right way. And so when I watched the remake, I said, well, does the original do the same thing? Because I almost thought the original did something different, but no, I recently watched the original and it actually does the same damn thing. They literally have sex after he says, I killed your brother, and I'm like, what? Okay. I mean, if some chick killed my brother, I don't think I'd go right to bed with her, but you know, hey, different times, sure, why the hell not? I think that's the biggest problem with both of the movies, is the love story, and it drags the rest of the movie down. I mean, outside of that, if you want to talk about a class act in directing and cinematography and clothing and sets and the singing and dancing, this movie is aces. And I think the love story does have some merit. I think the characters have some merit in the idea of racism and not accepting different people and being stuck in your ways on both sides. I like that, and there is definitely something there to be said, and a great messaging, and I truly do think this movie does a good job of it, even better than the original West Side Story. But I still think there's certain aspects to it that really don't exactly hit right. And the movie does feel a little bit too long. It feels like you could have possibly maybe taken a little bit out of it and it wouldn't have hurt the movie. It feels over lengthy. It feels kind of tedious at times. But that being said, I have to give credit where credit is due. I had a fun time watching the movie. I had a great time with it. The music is still incredibly infectious. You really get into it. They're memorable. The dialogue is memorable. The songs stick with you. So, I mean, there's more good than there is bad here. But at the end of the day, I don't think it 100% worked. But then again, I don't think the original 100% worked either. I still think it is plagued by the same problems that the original has, maybe amplified a little bit more because it's 2022, and so maybe in 1961 you could get away with some of that stuff, but now it kind of feels not right to a certain degree. Certain musicals age better than others. I think West Side Story has aged well for the time that it was made in 61. Making it now, maybe not so much. Still incredibly executed, absolutely 100%. But I don't know if it entirely works out the way that it's supposed to. Look, Steven Spielberg did an amazing job as a director. Stephen Sondheim is still an amazing lyricist and composer. And honestly, the actors really have their heart into it. Everybody has their heart into it, but those problems still linger, and at the end of the day, it's not perfect, but then again, what classic really is? And where some movies succeed, others spectacularly fail. Son of a bitch. Oh, the Blu-ray digital of Red Rocket for $16.99. I have been dreading this. I have been dreading talking about Red Rocket. I really have, man. I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, and here I wanted to watch it because everybody is saying, oh, Red Rocket is really good. Oh, it's so funny. Oh, it's incredibly entertaining. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, if everybody else says it is, I've got to really like it, right? I'm probably in the minority, and I don't give a single fuck. I really don't, man. So this movie is about Mikey Saber. Now, by the way, that's his porn name, all right? That's not his real name. That's his porn name. Get that together, folks, all right? And he goes back to Texas after basically burning a lot of bridges and failing spectacularly and trying to rebuild his life again, but doing it out of lies, deceit, deception, sex, mistrust, and conning people, hustling them, you name it. And basically, it's the story of Mikey and his ever-loving journey of a comeback. A comeback to porn. Well, I guess everyone's got to have a life goal. Oh, fuck, man. Oh, Lord. Here's the deal. I went into this movie wanting to give it a chance. I really did. And at every single turn when I'm watching this movie, I was so fucking frustrated by this film. Seriously, man. I mean, you can't root for anybody in this film, right? They're either complete scumbags or they're absolute idiots that can't see through this guy's lies and his deception and cheating and manipulating them, man. And this guy, at first you kind of feel sorry for him. You're like, well, I mean, he's coming back. He doesn't have anything but the clothes on his back. He's really trying his hardest to be good to his ex-wife and his mother and try to basically redeem himself. Not. He ain't redeeming shit, okay? This guy is an absolute dirtbag of the highest order, okay? He lies to everybody. He cheats everybody. He's telling one person this story, and then the next person he's telling the other person's story. He grovels to his ex-wife, and then he'll tell his friend, oh, man, my ex-wife's a real pain in the ass, man. She's a real bitch. And you're like, well, wait a minute, what? Like this guy's a complete and utter douchebag, man. I mean, he's charming when he does it, but that doesn't mean that it's any better because of it, all right? And at the same time, he's trying to get with this 17-year-old girl and become boyfriends with this girl from the donut shop and eventually get her into the porn industry, and I'm like, that's really cringy, man. That's really icky. And I'm like, this is the guy that we're supposed to be rooting for? This guy? I'm like, oh man. I feel dirty just even thinking about it, man. God damn. And I just was never able to think that he was funny or he was amusing. I just felt that this guy was absolutely pathetic. He's a loser in the biggest L word of the sense. He absolutely is, man. And everybody else is fucking stupid and idiotic to go along with this guy's bullshit. I mean, seriously, man. And the problem is that these people want to trust him. They want to believe that he's good, right? Oh, well, he's trying, right? No, he's not trying. He's just fucking with everybody and basically screwing everybody over at the end of the day. And honestly, the fact that these people believed him, the fact that they believed these crazy, insane stories and lies that he was telling makes them even more idiots because of it. And honestly, they really don't do Texas really good here. If I was a resident of Texas, I would basically look at this movie and I'd be like, boy, man, they really end up saying that the people of Texas are complete and utter idiots. I mean, they really are, man, because if somebody from Texas can believe this bullshit, then damn, man, I gotta catch a popsicle to sell you in a heartbeat, brother. Like, seriously, holy fuck, man. Damn, man, they basically are saying people in Texas are some stupid ass idiots. Yeesh. Oh, when the shoe fits. Oh man, dude. I don't know. It just frustrated the hell out of me. And at every turn, I kept thinking to myself, like, why aren't people actually more pissed off at this guy? Why is this guy getting away with all this shit? And yeah, there is a little bit of a comeuppance, but out of all the crap that he put these people through, he got away with a lot of shit at the end of the day, man. And maybe it's supposed to be a journey about self-discovery. Maybe it's supposed to be, you know, the wild adventures of this man-child. Maybe the fact that he can't grow up and the struggles of dealing with reality. Maybe, but they do it in this sort of matter-of-fact way, and they're trying to do it in this hilarious, funny way where they're like, ha ha, look at us, right? You know, hey, well, we can't grow up, and we want to manipulate 17-year-olds into porn. And I'm like, Jesus. It tries to go for the laughs instead of hitting you harder with the drama. And unfortunately, it just comes off as cringy, it comes off as unfunny, and it just really frustrated me. It was a frustrating watch. The movie is almost 2 hours long, and honestly, it feels it. It really does. Like, at a certain point, I was like, I don't know how much more I can take of him trying to woo the 17-year-old girl at the donut shop. I don't know how much more of that. I don't know how much more I can take of him trying to be this terrible drug dealer and manipulate his ex-wife into money. I don't know how much more I can deal with this shit, man. I mean, I will say this much. It's not a complete total loss because the acting is kind of decent, all things considered. I mean, they're definitely giving it their all. And I can see how somebody would look at this and say, hey, he's kind of charming, and it makes the movie a little bit more likable because of that. But honestly, it doesn't, man. It doesn't make it any less painful to watch and frustrating to sit through the idea that this guy is such a manipulator and he's such a fucking liar, and you can see it 2 feet in front of your fucking face, man. You absolutely can. And I just kind of felt like the movie was making so many excuses for this guy, and it's trying to come off as this quirky adventure, but it's anything but. It really just frustrated the fuck out of me watching this goddamn thing. And I'm still trying to figure out why this movie's called Red Rocket, because you do know what Red Rocket means, right? Come on, it's a dog's penis. It's a dog's dick, okay? Let's be real here. And so I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute. How does this pertain to the movie? I mean, maybe they're trying to say he's a dog, all men are dogs, maybe, but honestly, he doesn't have a lipstick penis where turns into an innie and then goes into an outie. Then again, maybe that might have been better instead of actually seeing Simon Rex's dick on screen. Because honestly, I have a lot of things on my bucket list. Seeing Simon Rex's dick was definitely not one of them. Okay, that is something I could have definitely done without for the rest of my goddamn fucking life. But hey, cross it off of the needless bucket list. Right. Fuck, man. This movie was just a waste of time. It's the same thing with Zola. It was just a waste, man. I was so frustrated watching it. I'm like, I can't root for anybody. Everyone is a manipulator. Everyone's incredibly stupid and can't see through the complete and utter open wide bullshit that this guy has. Man, that pissed me off, dude. I mean, you can have all the great acting in the world, but if you don't have a solid story, if you don't have intriguing characters, if you don't have a movie that can entertain you in some way, shape, or form, then just frustrate you and make you really icky at the experience, then it's not a worthy experience at all. I mean, I like Sean Baker. I do like The Florida Project for what it is, but movies like this are a waste of everybody's time and everybody's talent. And honestly, a waste of good dick and vagina jokes. Because honestly, if we're using them up on Simon Rex, man, that is a real fucking bummer. Won't you be my neighbor? Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Oh, man. That's great to see Mr. Rogers' love here at Target, man. The DVD collection for $14.99. That is great. Some PBS love. Oh, God. The classics never go out of style, and Mr. Rogers is absolutely a classic. Now, it's kind of interesting because Target has done some of these collection sets before, so it's not anything new, but it's definitely good to get a little bit more Mr. Rogers love. That is for damn sure, man. And the Kindness collection includes 30 classic episodes from 1979 all the way to 1991. Man, oh, it's a long stretch, but a long stretch for a man who definitely deserved it, man. Mr. Rogers, he was the epitome of kindness and integrity and a true heart. He really was. And I kind of feel like we're missing that in society now. I'm serious, man. We really are. Because people are selfish. They're heartless. They only think of themselves. And I miss Mr. Rogers in the biggest, baddest way. I truly do, man. And I kind of feel like we need to get back to the world of actually being kind and being nice human beings again, because that is sorely lacking. It really is. And I'm not saying everybody is a bastard. I'm not saying everybody is out for themselves. There are a lot of people out there who are really great human beings, really wonderful people who really are the heart of society, who are kind and good and pleasant to be around. But honestly, that old saying of a few bad apples ruins it for everybody else, it really is the truth when it comes to kindness. It really honestly is, man. And when it comes to Mr. Rogers, that's the thing I always really appreciated about Mr. Rogers at the end of the day, was the fact that, you know, he tried to teach the kids about life lessons. He tried to teach the kids about from right and wrong and goodness and being a decent human being. And unfortunately, somewhere along the line, life gets twisted and you end up getting turned around. And I know that things happen in your life that you're not happy about, and I know that there's things that go on that turn you sour to the world. But honestly, if we can all take a page out of Mr. Rogers, then maybe the world would be a hell of a lot better place than it is. I'm just saying. I mean, really, it's the honest to God truth, man. I mean, still to this day, you can learn a hell of a lot of life lessons from this guy. He's just that damn good. He really honestly is, man. One very special bonus episode. It's a skywriter who shows him how she creates images in the sky. Very nice, man. That is very, very cool. I mean, look, at the end of the day, it's shows like Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers, that really do paint a really great portrait of the world and how the world can be a really great place. And honestly, that type of medicine should definitely be prescribed for everybody. Because honestly, more Mr. Rogers lessons in the world can never, And I mean truly, never be a bad thing. Who's up for a little Disney love with the complete original series of The Proud Family for $29.99, the anniversary collection? Now, it's kind of weird because I kind of feel like I know this show, but I don't think I've ever actually seen it. It's kind of a weird one for me, guys, because it looks semi-familiar, like the characters, but again, I don't remember ever watching anything like this. I don't know. I mean, it's all 52 episodes, the original series, plus the Proud Family movie and the Proud Family shorties. Okay, well, it's definitely jam-packed. 20 years ago, we were introduced to Penny Proud, a young African-American girl navigating through her teens. In spite of larger-than-life situations, Penny encounters with her friends, her overprotective parents, and her two-hip granny spiral into adventure filled with hijinks, hilarity, and heart. Interesting indeed. Yeah, I definitely know I have not seen this, because if it was 20 years ago, that would make it like 2001, 2002. Holy shit, man, that is a blast from the past. I think I had just like graduated high school. Oh my god. Damn, I'm old. Sheesh. Lord, yeah, I think by that time I was out of the whole Disney animation stuff, like watching the TV series. So yeah, this passed me by, but something about it makes me sort of think like I've seen something of it. The animation or the character design, something. I mean, I don't know how popular it is. I've never really heard much about it, but it must have been popular enough that I must have come across images at some point. I mean, I'm kind of curious about this show, actually. I mean, it's interesting. I like the whole diversity angle. Looks pretty interesting overall. I'm not quite sure what to make of it, but it's Disney, so it's definitely something for the kiddies, right? And honestly, with the world being what it is today, and obviously more diversity in the world, something that was made over 20 years ago can come back around and be just as relevant, maybe even more so. Not half bad. Interesting. Probably a really fun show for the kids out there. A little Disney love on DVD. You don't get it much anymore, but when you do, it's definitely well worth diving into. I'm not so sure I would really want to live in that time period of Vikings, man. I mean, I'm serious. I mean, I'd probably look good with the beard, all things considered, but honestly, they have no toilets, man. Like the creature comforts of the world now. Oh man, I am way too fucking pampered. I'd be a dead man in this world, that's for damn sure. Season 6, Volume 2, The End of Vikings, the DVD for $22.99. Oh, I gotta admit, man, I do not like these type of sets. I really don't. I hate when they do the separations of it. Like, they do Volume 1 and then they do Volume 2. I'm like, just wait until the whole thing is done and then release it together. I hate that because it just feels like a cash grab, right? They're just doing something to, like, get a little bit more money out of the fan base, right? If we separate it, although if they really want it, they're gonna have to buy Volume 1 first, right? Yeah, no. Some of us actually like to wait so to get the whole fucking season together. You greedy motherfucker. I mean, seriously, man. Goes out in a blaze of glory. Does it? Because honestly, I have never seen a single episode of this show. I have heard amazing things about Vikings. I have heard that it is gory, it is bloody, it is intense, it is brutal, it is hardcore. I have heard a lot of things about Vikings over the years, but it's never really intrigued me to want to watch it, though. It's not really a type of show that I dive into most of the time. I mean, this sort of time period of history doesn't really get my loins going. I mean, it really doesn't, man. I mean, I'm sure it's good. I'm sure it's well executed. The acting is brilliant. The costumes are amazing, but it doesn't really intrigue me to want to dive into. Maybe one day. I mean, I am a history buff to a certain extent, depending on the era. Like, I'm a war lover. I do dig certain eras like World War One, World War Two, Vietnam War. Those are the type of movies and TV series that I really dig. Like something like Band of Brothers. Absolutely phenomenal, man. Amazing. That's something I can get into. This just doesn't really get me up in the morning. It really doesn't, man. I mean, all things considered, I do hope it's a good finale. I do hope it's a good final season. I hope it delivers for the fan base, because at the end of the day, that's all you really want from a TV show, right? If you really love something as much as you do, you want to see it succeed. You want to see it get paid off. You want to see your patience as a viewer and your commitment actually mean something. And so even if I'm not a fan of it, even if something that I don't really dig, I really hope that the lovers out there who really dig the show actually end up really appreciating what they did and actually feel like their time wasn't wasted, and they actually feel like they got their money's worth out of this show and that the finale actually paid off. Some finales fail spectacularly. I'm looking at you, Game of Thrones. Some succeed in spades. Others really frustrate the shit out of you. I'm looking at you, Sopranos. So where does Vikings end up? Good, bad, ugly? I guess history will ultimately decide, but for the fan base, hopefully it was a well-worthy journey. Well, hopefully it was indeed. Hopefully your patience paid off in a big bad way, and mine definitely did because of all the good physical media love this week. Well, not a lot, all things considered, but hey, hell of a lot better than we got over at Walmart, and I'll definitely appreciate it. Target delivers yet again. Let's head out. One store may fail, but the other bounces us right back to greatness. Oh, indeed it does, and it always has to be Target. Indeed it does, man. And honestly, at this point, I expect no less. I really don't, because Target always does their due diligence, even on a slow physical media week, when maybe there's one or two titles that come out, they still deliver the goods. And you definitely got to appreciate that, man. I mean, look, they're not the best physical media store of all time, that's for damn sure, but at least they do their due diligence on physical media and put out the new release love. And sometimes, certain weeks, with certain stores, that's asking a lot. And Target always pulls through for it. And honestly, a long time ago, you would have laughed at that. Now, boy, you're grateful for it. You indeed are, man, and I definitely am. All the good physical media love this week, and I can't deny how much I really appreciate it. Sometimes you wonder if it's really worth it, and then you come to Target and you're like, hey, they have the shit, okay? They actually put the effort into putting the stuff out. Lord knows many people probably aren't buying Red Rocket, and by the way, they shouldn't, but the fact that they put it out is definitely appreciated. Well, for what it's worth. I hope you appreciate it, because it definitely makes me a very happy physical media boy. It does indeed. Enough of Target love, which we always appreciate. How about we head to the next location for hopefully more physical media goodness ahead. All right, everybody. We are at our third location, the second Walmart. I'm going to go in and check out if there's any interesting indie titles we're showing off. If there is, I'll bring it back to Film Fan 108 HQ and show it out to each and every one of you. But before I do that, I got to talk about a trailer with you guys. And you know, there are certain trains that probably you should stay away from. Commute any other way you can, because something tells me the bullet train you probably want to stay away from. Oh yes, Brad Pitt is back in a high-stakes game of action and survival. Let's hope he pulls this one out, because it ain't gonna be easy, man. Oh, bullet train. You know, so I gotta admit, I did not know anything about this movie, but after seeing the trailer, damn am I sold. I really am, dude. I mean, basically from the trailer, Brad Pitt plays this assassin hitman, guy who's been out of the game for a while, comes back to do maybe one last job and to get this package. Getting the package is easy. Getting it off the train, yeah, that's something else entirely, man. Wow, that is some crazy. Everybody is after him, other assassins and hitmen and people who want the case. Kill or be killed in the big bad motherfucking way. Damn, looks really quirky, fun, vibrant. The action looks insane, and it looks like everyone's having a hell of a lot of fun here. I mean, you got Brad Pitt, you got Joey King, Aaron Taylor Johnson, maybe even a little Sandra Bullock, maybe. I kind of heard her voice a little bit, but I gotta tell you, it looks really interesting to me. It really does, man. And it kind of feels like a mix of like Snowpiercer meets Smokin' Aces. Something like that. Weird to say what a combo that is, man, but it kind of works. And I really am digging the fun that this trailer has, just the vibrancy of just how insane the movie is going to be. And it looks like everyone is just having a hell of a great time just kicking each other's asses. And I'm down for it. I really am. And I got to give Brad Pitt a lot of credit here because I love what he's going for in his career now because he's just having fun, man. It's not about getting an Oscar. It's not about the most dramatic work. Yeah, I love seeing him in the dramatic work, but he's just having a hell of a fun time making movies now, dude. I mean, this one, it seems like it's really fun. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And he's just a guy that just wants to get back to enjoy making movies and just have a hell of a great time with good people and good vibes. And man, I really appreciate that from Brad Pitt. I really do. And I gotta appreciate David Leitch, who directed this movie. I mean, he directed Deadpool 2. I thought he was awesome with that. Atomic Blonde, which he was so fucking kick-ass directing that movie. This guy knows action. He knows how to stage action. He knows how to make a great action sequence. And to think about the dynamics of a train, right? The claustrophobia of a train and how to make an intriguing action sequence where it's not like so jumbled you can't see what's going on, very dynamic and really entertaining. If you're going to get anyone to do that, man, you get David Leitch because he is really just great when it comes to high stakes, high octane action. It looks great. The design of the train looks awesome. The characters have a lot of really great one-liners and quirky sensibilities. And I love the comedy here. I think this is going to work. I think this is going to be really goddamn good. And I think at the end of the year, we're going to be saying that one of the biggest surprises of this year is Bullet Train. I really do believe that. I have a lot of faith in this. Brad Pitt looks like he's having a hell of a fun time. I like the assassin plot line. Not that we haven't seen that one before, but you can still do fun stuff with it. This movie looks like it, and David Leitch being the director, who I have 100% confidence in, this looks fucking awesome, guys. It looks like everything up my alley and so much more. I cannot wait to dive into this. I really cannot, man. And it comes out July 15th. It comes out on my birthday. Oh my God, man. How many times can I say a movie actually comes out on my birthday that I really want to see? Not many. A Bullet Train is definitely one of them. Oh my God, am I going to have a fun time checking this movie out. I really am, dude. I cannot wait. You guys got to let me know what you think about that. It looks fun. It looks entertaining. It looks like everything that I want and so much more. I'm definitely down for this one in a big bad way. Let me know what you guys think. In the meantime, how about we head into the second Walmart and hopefully some interesting goodies worth checking out. Well, everybody, we are in at the second Walmart, and this week has been kind of interesting. Some stores are slumming it, other stores are giving us some decent physical media love, and so there's a little bit here, a little bit there, so I'm thinking to myself, okay, where is the indie weirdness? Where's the bizarro? Come on, if anybody's gonna supply it, it has got to be the second Walmart, so come on, tell me they got it. And they do. Just a little bit, but they got something for us weirdos out there, and I definitely appreciate it. So, you know what that means. We are going back to Film Fan 108 HU, where you, Seth, yes, you get to show off all the physical media weirdness. Come on. Get ready to show it off, because you know you want to. Are you okay? Something seems wrong. Like you're off a little bit. Deep in thought? Well, I was honestly thinking, what would my life be without physical media? Now, come on, I can answer that for you. I mean, you'd have a hell of a lot more friends, a hell of a lot richer, and you would have gotten a girlfriend a lot quicker. Damn. I know. I'm here to blow your mind. Anything else worth mentioning? Well, on top of those mind-blowing facts, I mean, you also have me. And without me, where would you really be? I mean, you wouldn't be more handsome. That's for damn sure. Well, you are definitely spitting facts today, aren't you? I know. I'm just that good. I could give you more facts about life and blowing your mind even more, but what's the bother? I'm not going to make you any smarter after all, but at least I can make you show off the physical media, and that is good for your health after all. Well, if you say so, and well, I've got no reason to doubt you, so I'm gonna take your advice that it's good for my health. I mean, if 9 out of 10 doctors approve it, it's good enough for me. Indeed, it is, baby. Can't say life is all that great at times. There's ups, there's downs, but hey, at least I have the physical media love to keep me company. And sometimes that's all a guy ever really needs, right? Right. Absolutely it is, guys. Come on now. Physical media love. And this week, well, we've had our fair share this week of ups and downs, but still physical media will always reign supreme. We'll always find it no matter what. And as far as the weird oddities are concerned, well, those are definitely in plentiful supply. Ah, yes, the Walmart Bizarro is back yet again, and this pile proves that the weirdness never stops. It never does indeed, baby. So you know we gotta dig in, and let's start with a little Sin Eater. Ooh, interesting. Oh, I'm liking that. The devil might be inside of her, because you feed your sins before they feed on you. Oh, oh yes. Huh. That means that I can indulge in my sins? Shit. Gluttony, here I come, baby. Oh, man. It'll definitely be the death of me. That's for damn sure. Oh, nice. Sin Eater. Oh, that's pretty cool, man. All right. I like the cover to this. Wait a minute. That Bill Moseley? Whoa, that's Bill Moseley, isn't it? Chop Top himself. Oh, man, Otis. Wow, as a priest? That's real convincing. Yeah, right. What is this about? A young woman on the run from her shadowy past suffers a terrifying injury that strands her in a lonely, out-of-the-way town with a dark secret. As she recuperates with the family that rescued her from the crash, bizarre events start happening. With no one to trust, she will have to face not only her most inner demons, but actual demons who want to take her soul. Oh, yeah. Sins will definitely be the death of her. Perhaps. Or perhaps she will be taken over by demonic entities that will steal her soul. You know, there's a lot of ones out there like this. Obviously, The Conjurings, I'm thinking of Insidious, The Exorcist, the idea of demonic entities who basically use you and use your body for their evil purposes, want to come back to the real world, and your body is their vessel. I always like that, man. It's always really cool. And one that I really love, maybe not exactly taking over your body, so to speak, but perhaps your hand. Ah, yes. Because obviously not everything has to be ultra serious. Sometimes it's a little bit goofy and fun at the same time and very mischievous. Oh yes, and you know what I'm talking about. Idle hands are the devil's playpen. Oh, yeah. Oh, man, do I love idle hands. God, I saw this in the movie theater, dude. Seriously, this is a hell of a lot of fun. Devin Sawa is so great here, and the whole thing with the killer hand is so fucking awesome, dude. I love that shit. It is really well done here. It's hilarious. The kills are fucking great. I love his friends coming back to life after they're dead. It's so great. It's really awesome. I love this movie so much, man. I mean, you can have ultra serious and very creepy like Exorcist, or you can have some little bit of fun with your type of demonic love. Not bad at all, man. Pretty goddamn sweet. Definitely dig that one a lot. And also the idea of amnesia and the idea that you don't know who you are and what's going on, and the fact that you're slowly getting little pieces of your life back together while everything is going to shit. That is unique, and I do dig that premise a lot, man. And yes, amnesia has been used quite a lot within cinema, some more effective than others, and some are used to a certain degree where you're like, wait a minute, that really fucks up not only the movie, but your own mind at the same time. And there's one that's quite underrated that I absolutely dig, and that is none other than The Attic Expeditions. Oh, so good, man. This is actually a pretty great little flick that I absolutely love. This guy who is in this asylum and he doesn't know who he is, doesn't know what's going on, has no idea about his life, and slowly getting pieces of his life, moments that he's remembering. Is it real? Is it all in his head? Is it made up? What's exactly going on in this movie? It's kind of a mind fuck, but really entertaining. It really takes you on one hell of a ride, man. And the cast is fantastic here. I mean, Seth Green, Jeffrey Combs, Ted Raimi, Alice Cooper. Yeah, it's really fucking cool, man. If you ever get a chance to watch this, I can't say you'll fully understand the movie. I can't say it'll make a hell of a lot of sense, but boy, is it one hell of a mind trip, man. I definitely dig this one quite a bit. That is for damn sure. Pretty goddamn solid. Can this one be one that combines the messed up ideas of amnesia with a little demonic entity love? Perhaps. It's possible. I mean, with Bill Moseley in it, you're off to a good start. Not bad. Not bad at all. And the fact that it's called Sin Eater, oh man, you got me intrigued. I ain't gonna lie, man. The cover looks pretty good. However, let's be real. We have been screwed over by covers before. Some that have looked really amazing that turn out to be complete shit. They really do. Is Sin Eater going to be one of the good ones or one of the shitty ones? Well, I guess you'll just have to indulge yourself and find out. The first bite is the deadliest. Well, that's if you make it past the first bite. Fuck, this thing might just swallow your ass whole. Fuck, man. When Monster Python, she's one deadly mother. Yeah, no shit. Oh my god. Good lord, man. You're using that gun on that python? Dude, man, you need a fucking huge ass double barreled rifle to even penetrate that motherfucker. And even then, man, your ass is toast. Oh shit. Whoa, yeah, you're completely fucked, man. Damn. Yeah, you got no hope for survival. A film crew shooting in an abandoned village uses a collection of large eggs that they find as props for their movie, only to discover that the mother of the eggs will kill to get them back. What the fuck? Seriously? Why, look what we found, guys. Gigantic snake eggs. Oh, man. We could totally use it for the stuff we're shooting. Oh, what a coinkadink. Oh, my God. You know, look. Sometimes it's good for stupid people to die because it's less idiots that you got to deal with in the world, and maybe the population just gets a little bit smarter. I mean, seriously, there are some horror movies that you watch where you're just like, you want to know what, man? Some motherfuckers just deserve to die. And these are one of them, man. Son of a bitch. Seriously. What the fuck are you thinking, man? Oh, well, they didn't say that horror movies had to have smart characters. Because if that was the case, man, there'd be nobody to eat. Seriously. What the fuck, man? God, these motherfuckers deserve to die. Good lord. Oh, man. Stupidity runs rampant yet again, don't it? Well, at least it's food for the snake. Better them than me, goddammit. That's for damn sure. Oh, lord. You know, there are some really good killer snake movies out there. There really is, isn't there? There's a decent amount here, decent amount there. A few definitely worth pointing out. Some that are known, some that are unknown, and some that, in my opinion, are actually critically underrated, underappreciated, in my honest opinion. And one of them, oh yes, is Spasms. Oh, yes, look at that, man. Peter Fonda, Oliver Reed, so fucking good of a movie. I love this flick, man. This is great. This movie basically is about this killer snake that is in this foreign country, and one of the scientists brings it back to America. You dumb motherfucker. And basically, the snake runs rampant, and more victims for it to kill and use. And the venom that goes into the victims turns them into this, like, almost like protruding goo of a human being. Seriously, it is really funky, man. Look at that. Oh, look at that shit. Yes, literally his face is like almost swelling up, like he's got hives, and then it's starting to melt. Oh, god damn, man. Look at that snake. That is some cool shit. Oh, that is so fucking awesome, man. The kills are really great here. The snake is really awesome. Yeah, it's not the best snake movie, not the most exciting thing in the world, but I think the kills definitely make up for it. Yeah, there's this whole like love thing between Peter Fonda and this chick, but who gives a shit about that, man? You want to see the snake killing people, and oh man, you get some really good kills, man. Oh, that is fucking awesome. That is really cool. One that kind of goes under the radar, but definitely deserves a hell of a lot more love than it gets. And from the underappreciated to the absolute classic, oh yes, a little Anaconda love. Oh yes, man, one of the best of all time. Now I know the effects are a little dated, it's not as good as it used to be, but it's still pretty fucking solid, man. I mean, basically, it's about this riverboat that's looking for this long lost indigenous tribe, and they come across Mr. Voight, John Voight, who's shipwrecked and in need of help. They give him a hand, and he says, "Look, I'll help you guys find the tribe." But in fact, anything but. He's a snake hunter. He's looking for the anaconda, and he'll do anything to capture it, even a little human prey. Oh, perhaps, man. I mean, it's a solid flick. I love the jungle stuff. I love the perspective of the snake. I love the kills. It's really great. It really is, man. And I love certain things in this movie, like Owen Wilson's death is so awesome. And you could see like him inside of the snake and the snake digesting him. I love that shit, dude. And I think the best thing, or one of the best things, is definitely John Voight here. He plays like such a skeevy guy in this, and you always know that there's something messed up about him. You're not quite sure, but you're like, God, I don't know if I could ever trust this dude, man. He just like looks at you, and you're like, oh God, oh man. He's like, I'll help you find the tribe, and then suddenly he's like, I have to kill you now. Oh man, he's so good. I love him in this movie, man. He is living it up in this role. Jennifer Lopez is in one of the earliest roles she was ever in. Ice Cube is fucking cool here as well. It's a great flick, man. Yeah, dated, but still packs a punch, man. It really honestly does. And God knows there's been so many Anaconda sequels. Jeez, man, there's been like so many of them straight to DVD ones. Hell, wasn't there one with fucking Hasselhoff in it or some shit? Oh my God. They've always tried to ape off of the first one, but can never replicate it. And there's a reason why, man. You don't got John Voight. Come on. Seriously. Oh, so fucking good, man. So great. Oh, so great indeed. A couple of examples, but trust me, there's a hell of a lot more, man. And, well, can Monster Python be among the best of the bunch? Well, I'm not quite sure, man. I mean, it's looking a little rough. Kind of cheesy, and the effects might not be so hot. And honestly, who the fuck you gonna root for? I mean, seriously, these people find eggs just out of nowhere, and oh, the mother's not coming back anytime soon. We can use these as props, right? Right? Oh my God. Man, if natural selection didn't get your ass, hopefully this python will. My God, please, Lord. If anything in this movie, let there be some great kills, because honestly, these motherfuckers absolutely deserve death in a very, very gruesome fashion. Make sure to lock your doors at night, because these suckers, they're not raiding the pantry. They're raiding your neck. In red snow. Oh, I love that cover, man. That's great. Oh, well, good looking chick, but I think I'll pass on the makeout session. Oh, I think I will indeed. Oh, interesting. Ooh, a hell of a lot of blood-sucking bastards. Wow. Interesting. What is this unique vampire tale? Huh. Let's dive in. Aspiring vampire romance novelist. Oh, really? Olivia Romo is spending her holidays alone, holed up in her snowbound cabin near Lake Tahoe and racking up rejection letters from publishers. Better luck next time, I suppose. Until one night, an injured bat slams against her window. Sympathetic to creatures of the night, Olivia takes the wounded critter inside her garage to nurse it back to health. The next day, however, Olivia is delighted to discover that the bat has transformed into a handsome vampire. Wait a minute, she's delighted? Man, this chick definitely needs a hobby. Oh, shit. His name is Luke, and he's not a fan of crosses, garlic, or sunlight, but he seems to take a strange liking to Olivia. Perhaps Olivia's neck? Just saying. The unlikely companions get to know each other and start to form a tenuous friendship, but Olivia grows suspicious of Luke's intentions as his past begins to catch up with him. Yeah, he's a fucking vampire. Duh! My God. First, there's a strange detective who comes looking for Luke and his dangerous associates. Then, there's the pale figures creeping outside Olivia's cabin at night. Again, vampires. Get it together, lady. Jeez. Luke's old vampire friends come out of the shadows and into Olivia's cabin. They want Luke back, but first, they want to help themselves to his lady friend. Oh, his tasty new friend. Oh my God. It's kind of interesting, right? Because vampires are so unique and interesting storytelling wise, right? And it would be kind of cool to come across one, wouldn't it? I mean, you randomly meet a vampire and you have so many questions and so much fascination. And then it starts to set in, wait a minute, this is a vampire, right? It's a bloodsucker. It feeds on blood. Your blood. And suddenly it's like, oh shit, okay. That fascination turns to horror real fucking quick, man. It kind of reminds me of an Interview with the Vampire when Christian Slater is interviewing Brad Pitt and he's fascinated by him and he's definitely wanting to really dive into the history of this guy and his life, but also realizing this dude's a fucking vampire. Like, he has intentions. He doesn't eat a fucking salad after all, okay? And it's like, oh man, I'm literally alone in a room with a man that literally has the capacity to rip my head off and feed on my blood, okay? Come on, man. So I can see the fascination at first, but I'm like, honey, if you think this dude is out for companionship and cuddles, man, you are sadly fucking mistaken, honey. Oh, Lord. And the idea that there's even more friends and even more vampiric people who want to munch on you, well, eventually you will become a pest dispenser. Oh, my God. It's probably got some really unique, fun moments and some probably really cool horror elements and some really great blood in here. I'm loving the look of the vampires here and the blood smeared on them. It's probably really gruesome and some probably great kills in this thing. Not exactly the smartest chick in the tool shed, but I mean, she is an author who loves vampires, so the fascination is there. But eventually, honey, get over it. And get over it fast, will ya? Oh, man, please do indeed. I mean, there's a lot of really great vampire movies out there. There are amazing ones. I mean, I have a ton of them, guys. Seriously, a lot of them. Like, for instance, oh yes, I gotta talk about Near Dark, baby. Oh my God. Pray for Daylight. Oh, yeah, damn right. God, this is one of the best vampire movies of all time. I mean, they don't exactly call them vampires in the movie, but you pretty much get it, dude. They're vampires. I love them. They're seedy, they're untrustworthy, and boy, are they brutal. I love this, man. So good, dude. Love Near Dark to death. This is one of the best vampire movies of all time. I definitely gotta show a lot of love to 30 Days of Night. This is a great vampire flick. I mean, these vampires, talk about brutality. My God, man, these things are literally just absolute ultimate killing machines that will do anything to get to the blood inside your body. This is really fucking killer, man. This is a really great flick. Sequel, not so much, but this one, pretty damn solid. Love the hell out of that one. That one is really amazing. Also, of course, the old school Universal classics, of course. I mean, Dracula, Bela Lugosi. Come on, that is really awesome, all things considered, man. Old school, yes. Out of date, sure, but classics never go out of style, folks. Seriously, they never do. Then again, well, not exactly a classic, but I actually do dig this, all things considered. I mean, when it first came out, it was one of those duds where you're like, oh man, really? Like, this? Eddie Murphy and Wes Craven, a vampire comedy? But honestly, it actually works, and I rewatched it not too long ago, and I think it's fun. I like it. It's a little bit mischievous. It's got some dark humor to it, quirky. It's not perfect, but all things considered, I think it's actually pretty fun. One of the newer ones I dig is Steakland. This is a really awesome movie. Very post-apocalyptic. Vampires have taken over the world and few survivors left to take them on. Love this one. Brutal vampires, really great story. Dig this one a lot. That one is pretty cool. Of course, come on. Did you seriously think that I wasn't going to say this one? This is an absolute classic. Absolutely amazing. And if I didn't say it, I think you guys would literally rip my head off. Thou shalt not fall. Yes, the Lost Boys. Sleep all day, party all night. It's fun to be a vampire. Oh, indeed it is, man. God, this is legendary status of a movie, man. I mean, the look, the music, the kills, the characters, the dialogue, everything in this is so fucking awesome. Every single aspect. It is literally one of the best horror movies of the 80s and one of the best vampire movies of all time. I love this. And on top of that, you have the two Coreys. I mean, if that isn't legendary status, I don't know what is. Seriously, so effing good, man. They just don't make them like the Lost Boys anymore. They seriously do not. And of course, I gotta mention a little Kiss of the Damned love. Her love will never die. Oh, indeed it won't. And he better watch his fucking neck. So good of a movie, man. Very erotic. Definitely dig this one a lot. That one is really good. I like that. And there's so many more really great vampire tales out there. Of course, Blade is awesome. Of course, Bram Stoker's Dracula is amazing too. Absolutely. And there's another one that I really dig that is very underrated. And that is none other than Pale Blood. Oh, Pale Blood is really great, man. There's this guy who is killing these victims, and it seems like he's a vampire because the deaths, like the victims are drained of blood, and they don't know who it is, they have no leads, and so this vampire ends up coming in and doing some detective work and trying to find the killer because obviously it's giving vampires a bad name. Oh, really? So the killer who is literally draining people of blood, that gives vampires a bad name? Oh, okay. Well, he's definitely got to end up trying to rectify the problem. And basically, he's trying to find the killer and having to team up with this human who he's kind of fascinated with and wants to get with her. Well, actually wants to more feed on her blood than anything else. Wow, really? A vampire that wants to feed on blood? Who'da thunk it? Seriously, it's quite interesting. Erotic with a great soundtrack and actually some pretty cool characters, man. Not bad at all. Pretty decent overall with that flick, man. But there are so many really fantastic vampire movies. So many to speak of. Ones that I left out, but honestly, there are so many to name. It'd take forever to mention them all. But seriously, the vampire genre is really fucking cool. Some really amazing gems. But then again, let's be real, it hasn't all been roses because, well, Twilight, anybody? Ah, shit. I mean, to be fair, the vampire genre has kind of waned over the last 10, 20 years, hasn't it? I mean, there's been some really good ones on occasion that have really stepped up to the plate, but not as much as there used to be back in the day, man. I mean, they just don't make them like they used to. Even a movie like Kronos, man. Kronos is really fucking awesome. Very imaginative and a unique take on vampirism. Unfortunately, you just don't get that much anymore like you used to. And after Twilight, I think people are just kind of over vampires. I mean, really, if I gotta see one more sparkling motherfucker, I'm gonna lose it. Seriously. So, can Red Snow bring back the vampire genre to its heyday? I kinda doubt it. I don't really think it will, all things considered. But it kinda looks fun, and it looks unique and entertaining. And honestly, after the dull shit of dealing with Twilight, honestly, I'll take a little fun and mischievous action, and Red Snow may not transcend the genre, may not give us all our hopes and dreams, but as long as it's fun and some good kills and some bloody gore, well, it'll definitely satisfy my appetite. To save the future is to protect the past in Project Gemini. Yes. Nice. An unimaginable terror awaits. Ooh, I'm liking that cover, man. A little sci-fi goodness with some tentacle love. Don't mind if I do, man. Now, I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime. Why? Because I am a sci-fi lover. I'm a sci-fi geek. I love that shit, man. I've loved it for a long time. I'm an old school fan. I mean, obviously Star Wars, Star Trek, Flash Gordon, you name it. I've loved that shit for a very, very long ass time, man. And so I kind of looked at Project Gemini as potentially something unique, interesting, worthy, maybe. I mean, basically, it's the idea of the whole entire planet is dying. There's a virus that is knocking out all plant life and air, and there is no cure to this virus. They've tried over and over again, and the only hope is this white gigantic sphere that was found on Earth, and it has the potential to terraform a planet. So the scientists go out and try to go to a new galaxy to seed new life and protect Earth and humanity and the struggles in order to do that. Yes, indeed, man. And I always find that idea fascinating and interesting. And what I even love also is the fact that you bring in a little bit of the horror element here as well, because while they are going into space, going into another galaxy, they find that there's a creature that has perhaps been there far longer than they could have possibly imagined. And this creature is attacking them, potentially protecting the sphere, and they have to encounter terror and hopefully survive the odds, or humanity dies in the process. Ah, yes. I love a good sci-fi horror tale. I really do, man. And there's been some really great ones out there. Like Event Horizon. Oh, do I dig this movie, man. I just really love the horror elements of going into this realm that's almost like hell, and then coming back and spreading it to everybody else. I just love it, man. It's so good. The imagery is great, and Sam Neill, man, God, he plays a great fucking bad guy. He's so good. Dude, it's got some really great creepy vibes, some great atmosphere to it, and as far as sci-fi horror is concerned, this is pretty damn solid. And of course, I can't forget a little Annihilation goodness. Man, is this movie really awesome. I really love the great mixture of sci-fi and horror here, and I really dig the idea of this entity coming to Earth and affecting everything within its radius, whether it's plant life, animal life, and changing its physiology and slowly but surely taking over our world. Man, was this really fascinating when I watched it for the first time, and still is to this day. The designs are great, the atmosphere is creepy, And it's got this great foreboding sense of dread that I really love, man. I thought it was absolutely phenomenal, and it's one of those really great artistic takes on a sci-fi horror flick that works pretty damn well. And of course, the granddaddy of them all, I can't forget to talk about this, Alien. The first one is pretty damn amazing and came out of nowhere. No one saw it coming and shocked the world. Oh, it really did. And I just love the idea of this crew going down to this planet, finding these mysterious eggs, and what lies in wait is truly terrifying. Oh, it so is, man. I love it, and it really is great. I mean, this is the epitome of sci-fi horror in every single aspect. It's atmospheric. The design of the alien creature itself is absolutely iconic. The characters, it's a reason why it's a classic, man, because it's just that damn good. It really is, man, and they just don't make them like Alien anymore. That's for damn sure. They really don't. And you can definitely see the influences that this movie took from films like Alien, because, I mean, just watching this film alone, seeing the alien creature itself, I don't know whether you want to call it ripoff, homage, but it is definitely aping off of that design in a big bad way. It almost looked like the Pred Alien or something, like a mix of Predator and Alien together. Okay, now look, we haven't seen that shit before, but it's not exactly original, but you can tell that they've definitely taken a lot of influences from classic science fiction movies from the past and tried to put a kind of unique spin on it, sort of. The problem with the movie, and there is a few issues here. One is the fact that, yes, it's interesting sci-fi. I like the premise to it, but it kind of feels like been there, done that. You've seen this done in so many other films, and it kind of feels like it's a hodgepodge of this movie and this other movie, and sort of mixing it into this stew and cutting Project Gemini out of it. That's not to say that it's a bad thing necessarily, but you've seen it so many other times before. Yeah, it spins its own unique tale, but not exactly wholly original either. And that's not all. Unfortunately, the acting tends to suffer here. I mean, not everybody in the movie, but especially the main actor, the guy that we're supposed to be rooting for. He's not as good as I would have hoped he was. I mean, the movie tries to, at first, make him out to be a bad guy, and then later on, we realize that he was actually the good guy all along. And there's sort of flashbacks to him being on Earth with his girlfriend, and his girlfriend is pregnant, and she's trying to find a cure for the virus, but he's got to go into space anyways to try to save Earth, because we're not quite sure if the virus is even going to be eradicated, if it's even possible to do that. And there's a moment in the movie where his girlfriend says, "I'm pregnant, we're going to have a child." And he's like, "I'm happy, but it's bad timing." Jeez, a little bit more dramatic, will ya? Good God, man. He's not the greatest actor, and I wish in a better actor's hands, I think it would have came off a little bit more emotional. I would have been invested a little bit more. Not so much. And unfortunately, the same can be said with a lot of these actors and characters. You don't get to know these people at all. There's little moments where you get to see a flashback here and there, but unfortunately, they're not around long enough for you to really care about them. And I just wish that we would have gotten more background on them. They wouldn't have felt like fodder just to kill them off for the sake of killing them. That really sucked, because again, it's hard to root for people in this movie if you don't really get to know them, and you don't really care at the end of the day. They're just an on-screen death for the sake of having an on-screen death, and that kind of sucks, man. I mean, even the alien creature here, the design is kind of cool, but whenever you can actually see the damn thing, and I'm serious, because for the most part, anytime that it's around, it is so super dark of a film that you cannot see shit. There's only one moment in the film that I actually got to see kind of what it looked like, and even then I was struggling like a motherfucker. I mean, I was seriously like, yeah, I think it kind of has dreads. Like, it kind of looks like it. I'm like, what the hell, man? Kind of looks like alien-ish. I didn't really see it all that well, man. And it really felt like Alien versus Predator to me. Like, that movie is incredibly dark, dude. And at times, I'm thinking to myself, God, is my TV fucked up? Because if it's this dark, it's gotta be my TV. But no, it's the actual fucking movie. And it's the same thing with Project Gemini. I mean, the cinematography at times is good. The visuals are really stunning. The plot has potential, but I just thought that it just needed to be elevated more, given it a little bit more time and fleshed out better. Unfortunately, it didn't quite do that, but I like the ideas behind the movie, especially the idea of the past influences the future. I don't want to spoil really too much about the movie, but the idea of time travel and time paradoxes, and the idea that something that was there the whole time is planted there in the future to be found in the past. It's kind of unique and interesting, not like you haven't seen it before, but I like the idea of time travel. I like the idea of seeing a story that you're not quite sure where the story is headed, and when you realize that it's all a circle, it's kind of fascinating. And there's movies that have kind of done that, like the Terminator franchise. I mean, literally, the Terminator franchise is one of the poster boys of literally time manipulation, time travel, you name it. A big old circle going round and never ending. Yes, absolutely. Pretty damn good, all things considered. Yes, a little confusing at times, but, well, honestly, what science fiction tale isn't at times, especially when it's gone on for this goddamn long. That's an interesting one. Of course, I definitely got to talk about Synchronic. Synchronic is an amazing movie about this drug that takes you to different time periods. You're time traveling with this weird drug. It's kind of like ecstasy, but it messes with your mind and time itself. Boy, that is really fucked up, man. But it's actually really unique and kind of trippy, and I definitely enjoy that one. And another one I really dig as well, and that is 2067. Not bad, actually. Kind of unique and interesting. And I like the idea of a message from the future coming to the past on how to save yourself, and going to that location and realizing that all you're really doing is keeping the loop going. Ah, yeah. I thought it was unique and fascinating and very intriguing. A little messy, but I still appreciate it for what it is. Not bad at all, man. Not too bad. Definitely interesting. And the other one that I was thinking of that I thought is really cool and worth mentioning, and that is Predestination. Oh man, this is so good. To save the future, he must protect his past. Oh, this is a fucking amazing time paradox, time travel flick that I definitely appreciate. The idea that this guy has to influence the future by messing with his past. And I love that. I really do, man. And I just love the idea of this guy having to recruit his own self from the past, and how time is manipulated, how all of these events unfolded in the first place, and the idea that it's one big giant loop at the end of the day. Man, is this a great mind bender. Really, really great flick, man. I definitely enjoy that. And I have to admit, as a sci-fi lover, those type of concepts really get me going, man. They really honestly do. They get the mind churning, you know what I mean? And Project Gemini is one of those in a big bad way. I can't say that it's perfect, because at the end of the day, it's really not. And it does take influence on so many other ones, and maybe not doing it half as clever, but I like the ideas and the thoughts behind it, man. And it just really racks your brain. I mean, yes, there's plot holes of like, well, if this is one big loop, if it's happened over and over again and it will happen again, what happened the first time around? There's a paradox of the idea that if there is this sphere that could potentially help the future and also protect the past, the problem is, how is it exactly built? I mean, what happened the first time around? We may never know. And that's kind of the crutch of time travel in general, isn't it? Because if all of these things have already happened in a lot of these futuristic sci-fi stories when you're dealing with time travel, if it always happened like this, if these people were already influenced by these events and going back and forth in time, how did it all play out the first go around? And man, let me tell you something. You could really rack your brain like a motherfucker trying to figure that shit out. Trust me, man. I've done it a time or two, and I've lost a few brain cells in the process, okay? This movie is not worth going down that path, okay? I mean, yeah, you might bust a gasket, guys. And honestly, this movie isn't worth losing some of the brain cells over. It's really not. There's movies that are worth it, not so much this time around, guys. But look, at the end of the day, the movie is just alright. I just wish it was better done in every aspect. The acting, the story, the time travel. I mean, the alien creature, which could have been done a little bit better as well. It just kind of felt like there's so much potential with this movie, and the potential just wasn't realized. And that's a shame, because as a sci-fi lover, I'm always looking for a cool, unique little gem worth exploring, worth finding, and I thought this might have been it, but I guess the search continues, because Project Gemini didn't quite reach the heights that I was really hoping it would. Shame, but no cigar, unfortunately. A for effort? Yeah. Curiosity indeed, but not much more than that. Unfortunately so, guys. But this stack, oh, this wonderful oddity and weirdo of a stack, well, you gotta admit, it at least ended up percolating the brain. Remember to never, and I mean ever, take in stray chicks off the street. They have a lot more baggage than you think. Okay, class, listen up. What do we do when we find python eggs? Come on, what is it? Oh, yes, we leave them alone, because we'd rather do that than be food, right? The fact that you answer that correctly means that you're smarter than these motherfuckers. You know, when I talked about friendship, I meant regular friends, not blood-sucking bastards. There is a limit. And in space, creatures will fuck you up. Oh, indeed they will. Oh, in a big, bad way. Oh, man, the Walmart weirdness was definitely on display. Oh, can I resist it? Why the hell would I ever want to? Seriously, it's just too goddamn fun, man. Oh, I love it so goddamn much, man, boy. Oh, baby, this file, let me tell you. And come on, let's be real. It is all worth exploring. Good, bad, Walmart weird. It is all worth it because it's physical media, baby. It's always worth the exploration. You guys know that, and you definitely appreciate it, just like I do. But enough of the weirdness and the bizarreness. We got more physical media to check out, and with one more location, hopefully there's more physical media to explore. All right, everybody, we are at our fourth and final location, and when it comes to tracking down physical media goodness, I suppose Best Buy is one of the essential stops along the way. Well, apparently it is. So you know we have to go in there, right? Yes, of course we do. Any physical media love is good physical media love to check out. Sometimes they have enough, and sometimes they don't got squat. But that's the gamble that you take. So how about we head in? And you know where we are, baby. Obviously, we are at Best Buy the Beast. Best Buy, baby. And we've seen a little bit of physical media here, a little bit of physical media there. Some interesting stuff, an exclusive or two. But what about Best Buy? Are we going to get some new release love, exclusive goodness, maybe something we weren't expecting? You never quite know with the Beast. Sometimes they deliver and sometimes they strike out. This time around, but how about we go in and check what they have? All right, everybody, we are in at Best Buy under the new releases, and it doesn't look like there's much physical media love to check out, but, well, you make sure you check all the corners, all the areas, because, well, even if there's one thing is better than nothing, and I'll definitely take it with West Side Story. The Blu-ray digital for $24.99, the 4K Blu-ray digital for $29.99, and what do you know, we missed out on yet another steelbook, folks. That sucks, man. I didn't really think this would sell out, considering, well, maybe it is a really popular movie after all, but I'm like, the steelbook for West Side Story? Either they didn't get many copies in, or most of them were pre-orders. This is Best Buy after all. Some steelbooks are gonna sell really quickly, and other steelbooks, they stick around for a really, really, really agonizingly long-ass fucking time. I'm gonna still be seeing this steelbook in 10 years' time. And that's really fucking sad. God damn, man. But, well, no steelbook love for West Side Story. Maybe eventually we will, but this week, yeah, we are shit out of luck, man. But, hey, a little bit of West Side Story love is still good West Side Story love, you know what I mean? Because I once met a girl named Maria. Sorry, guys. You know, I think that in my past life, I used to be an opera singer, and every once in a while, it comes out. My bad. You know what, guys? I'm kind of glad, just a little bit, that this movie didn't do that well at the box office. I don't want to see any movie fail necessarily, but I think Hollywood gets the wrong ideas when it comes to successes. Then again, I also think they get the wrong idea when there's a failure, too. I think they honestly would have looked at West Side Story and said, oh my god, this is a success. We're going to remake Sound of Music, My Fair Lady, God knows what else, man. I don't need remakes to those movies. Then again, with it not doing well, Hollywood also says, well, there's probably not a need for musicals much anymore. And that's not the right takeaway either. So, best of both worlds? I mean, the movie is still good, and people were still anticipating it and wanting to go see it, but I just don't think that people really needed a remake of this. At the same time, it's not that musicals are out of style. You can make a really good musical. You can. You look at something like In the Heights, absolutely fantastic. People love that movie. You look at something like La La Land. People dug La La Land. It was really fucking phenomenal, man. I mean, you look at something like Encanto, which is really great as well. I mean, look, it's not that musicals are out of style. They've never technically been out of style. There's an ebb and flow to it. Sometimes there's more musicals in a certain time period than in other ones. But they've never exactly went away, per se. They've just had certain levels of popularity over certain times. And sometimes the popularity wanes, and sometimes it peaks a little bit more at other moments. But they've never actually went the way of the dinosaur, and there's so many really great musicals out there. I mean, Sweeney Todd, The Demon Barber of Fleet Street, that's fucking phenomenal. The Rocky Horror Picture Show, which happens to be one of my favorite musicals of all time. I love that one. Of course, Chicago is amazing. Little Shop of Horrors is really unique. Cry Baby, Les Mis, The Greatest Showman. I mean, I love a lot of old school stuff just as I love a lot of the new school stuff. Then again, they're not always created equal. Dear Evan Hansen and Cats, anybody? Ugh. Yeah, better left unsaid, man. They're not all created equal, folks. I mean, even one that I watched recently, Tick Tick Boom on Netflix. Really love that one. Think it's amazing. Rent, of course, fantastic as well. I mean, there is some really, really great ones out there that are really phenomenal. Hamilton, of course. I gotta mention Hamilton. Everybody freaking loves that one. It's really good. Musicals have an ebb and flow to them that I really appreciate, and I've always really dug them from one aspect or another. And I think that with West Side Story, there was always a charm to it, especially with the music and everything, that which really was catchy and infectious and really got you going. And Stephen Sondheim. I mean, Stephen Sondheim is a legend in this business. A classical artist when it comes to lyrics and really shaping a song. He's fucking phenomenal, man. And so these songs are instantly always going to be classic, always going to be memorable, and he's always been a very memorable artist in general. I mean, I mentioned Demon Barber of Fleet Street. That was him. Sweeney Todd. Yeah, he did Sweeney Todd, and it was so fucking amazing. Those songs are memorable. They stick in your head. They're just that damn good. He's also done a hell of a lot of TV, writing lyrics for certain shows like the Brady Bunch Variety Hour, Mary Tyler Moore. Hell, he's wrote stuff for Curb Your Enthusiasm, David Letterman, you name it, man. He has been all over the place. Hell, he even did the music lyrics for some of the songs from Dick Tracy. Yes, the Warren Beatty movie. That's crazy. That's wild, man. He also did another musical that's not really as well known called Gypsy. That was in 1962. That also starred Natalie Wood, but there was a remake of that, a TV movie with Bette Midler in 1993, I believe it was, somewhere around there. Not very well known, but still a pretty decent one regardless, all things considered. But he is a great lyricist, really infectious songs, and I could see why he's been used over the years, and I could see why people use his songs over and over again, because they're just that damn good, man. So I get why Steven Spielberg wanted to remake the movie, put his own spin on it. He loves the material. You can really see that in a lot of interviews that he did. I get it, but at the end of the day, I think it was kind of a mixed bag. There's some good moments, there's some bad moments, things that were improved upon, but things that didn't really change all that much. I mean, to say it's a misfire is wrong, but it also didn't exactly live up to all the potential and the hype that it had going for it as well. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do love West Side Story. The characters and the story and the music, the lyrics, everything is aces. But if you're not going to do something out of left field and something really new with it, then why do it? It just ends up becoming another pointless remake. I mean, if you look at something like Sweeney Todd, The Demon Barber of Fleet Street, if you look at that movie directed by Tim Burton, it was such a different experience to what the original was. And Tim Burton really put his stamp on it and changed it in some really unique and interesting and dark ways that I really liked, man. And with this movie, yeah, they updated it with better costumes and set dressing and a couple extra songs here and there, but was that enough to really justify remaking it? I'm not really sure. Look, I'm not against remakes at the end of the day. I'm all for them, but there's got to be a reason why you do it. If you're going to put all the money and effort into it, you either do something different or why bother? I don't know, man. I mean, if I had to pick between the two, classics never go out of style, and West Side Story never did. And so for me, it will always be the 61 version. Warts and all, it's still a solid movie and a solid musical. And this one is still good. A good companion piece, but not exactly needed. You know what I'm saying? Not exactly, guys. I mean, you do get over 90 minutes of bonus extras, behind the scenes material. Never any type of commentary. I noticed that Spielberg never does any commentaries for any of his movies, man. I mean, this goes all the way back. E.T., Indiana Jones, Jaws, you name it. He never does commentaries. Man, what does he have against commentaries, dude? I don't know. He never does one. One of these days he will. When that day happens, I'll probably have a fucking heart attack, man. Jeez. I mean, you do get a little bit of feature love, but if you're a musical fan, it's definitely a curiosity. It's definitely worth a watch. It is amazing, just the production value in the movie alone and the singing and dancing. But you can get the same thing out of the original West Side Story. Is it ultimately worth it at the end of the day? That's up for you all to decide. Very curious indeed, man. Very curious. But we do have a little bit of new release love. Not a lot, but just a little bit. And I'll definitely take it. But I'm wondering what else is beyond the horizon. And over the horizon, in the back of Best Buy, we do have just a little bit more physical media goodness. But I gotta mention something, right? I mean, they finally have that goddamn Bruce Willis film. Jesus, man. For $13.99, that is just too fucking high, man. I don't know how much more I can take. I really don't, man. I say that all the time, and then I just keep coming back for more. I'm like a battered housewife at this point. I really am, dude. God, he's just so fucking terrible nowadays. Jesus, he just doesn't give a shit. And it's just crazy to think that just a while back in something like Looper, he did an amazing job. He really kind of cared. And now, Jesus, man, I mean, this is what happens when Ashton Kutcher is fucking your ex-wife, man. You eventually just don't give a shit. It's either Pete Davidson fucking your ex or Ashton Kutcher. Either way, man, you lose. Jesus, man. Oh, and by the way, they do have Apex as well. If you guys were really interested in Blu-ray Bruce Willis new release love, jeez, if you are, honestly, you really need to see a therapist. Seriously, man. Oh my God. I mean, they have that. They still have that Downtown Abbey 4K love, the Steelbook, which is really fucking amazing. I love this. It's such a great Steely. You do have Steelbook love for Sonic Boom, the complete series. Oh, some Sonic love. Oh, let's do this. Great. I've never seen the animated series, but, I mean, Sonic's pretty fucking awesome, man. I ain't gonna lie, dude. A little Steelbook love for that. 4K love for the Sonic the Hedgehog live action movie for $39.99. Now, it's interesting because they say this is Steelbook, but where's the Steelbook? Oh, mini Steelbook. Okay, that's kind of interesting. All right. God, I don't think I've ever really seen a mini Steelbook before. Yeah, there it is. Okay. This is kind of unique and interesting. Maybe they have been doing mini steelbooks before, but I've never seen a single one of these ones before. That's very weird. It really is, dude. I mean, anything to sort of cash in on Sonic, I guess. I mean, the new movie is coming out soon, so why not capitalize on it even more? Maybe it'll be a collector's item at some point. It's kind of wild. To have a mini Sonic the Hedgehog steelbook in your collection. It's definitely unique, I'll say that much, man. That's interesting. I mean, they have that. They also have this steelbook for The Spine of Night, which I've never heard of before, for $19.99. 4K at that. With Richard E. Grant, Lucy Lawless, Patton Oswalt, Joe Manganiello. One of the sickest, coolest, most mind-bending animated films we've seen? From Shudder? This is kind of intriguing me, I'm not gonna lie, man. I love the actual look of the artwork on the Steely. That looks pretty cool, man. Ultra-violence, intoxicating, visceral? What the hell? The epic fantasy tale about the history of a land that never was begins with an ambitious young man who steals forbidden knowledge from a sacred plant. He falls to his darkest temptations and in so doing unleashes ages of suffering onto mankind. Wow. As the power grows over the years, it falls to people of different ilk and culture to attempt to stop him. Among those who stand against him are a daring tomb robber, star-crossed lovers, a maniacal necromancer, winged assassins, and an undying guardian. Wow, holy shit. What the hell is this, man? Seriously. Wow. That is really intriguing me, I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm always kind of iffy on Shudder because sometimes they do really cool work and sometimes not so much. They're kind of aping off of better shit, but not doing it half as good. Yeah, but this one, I gotta admit, this one intrigues the shit out of me. I'm not really into anime too much. I mean, there's some really great stuff out there. Akira is amazing, of course. I mean, Attack on Titan. There's some really amazing stuff out there. I just never really dived into it. But I do like animation overall, and if it's a very intriguing and unique story, something that's coming out of left field, this might be something that's definitely worth diving into. I gotta admit, I am intrigued like a motherfucker in a big bad way, man. It looks pretty goddamn cool. You guys gotta let me know, how is this? Spine of Night. I gotta tell ya, it's been a while since I've been intrigued by an anime that I actually wanted to dive into, and this one definitely intrigues the living hell out of me. Not bad on that one. That looks pretty cool, actually. And for $20 for a steelbook love, how many times does Shudder actually release something like this steelbook love like this? They almost never do, man. That intrigues the hell out of me. That really does. Might be on my radar. Interesting indeed. They have that. They also have, a little 4K shooter love Steely with Mark Wahlberg for $25. 15 years of Shooter love, man. I gotta admit, I do like Shooter. It's a pretty good, intense little movie. It's not bad. I really do like Wahlberg here. Wahlberg is, well, he's not exactly generic action guy. He's done some really cool action roles in the past. I don't know if Shooter is exactly the most memorable, but I know people really dig Shooter. People really love it. It's something that they really dig Wahlberg in, consider it probably one of his better action movies. I'm not so sure I 100% agree with that. It's definitely good, and Mark Wahlberg is one badass motherfucker in it. I like the plot, the characters. It ain't half bad, man. I mean, Rona Mitra's really cool in it. Danny Glover's cool as well. Michael Pena, Kate Mamara. I mean, it's not a bad movie overall. Didn't think I'd see this get like 15th anniversary Steelbook love, but then again, there's a lot of things that are coming out nowadays that I'm like, wow, we're getting that. We're living in the golden age of physical media, ladies and gentlemen, and anything and everything nowadays is getting physical media love. Why not some more Mark Wahlberg goodness? Well, it is Wahlberg, so he deserves it, right? And of course, our stop at the beast is not complete until we deal with a little Red Rocket love. Son of a bitch. Jesus Christ. They had to stock it this week. They couldn't just pass by. No, they had to make me suffer. Jesus Christ. Simon Rex is sensational. What the fuck? Wait a minute. Richard Lawson from Vanity Fair. I want to speak to that motherfucker. Seriously, what the hell is he smoking? Because whatever it is, I don't want it. God, man. Seriously, he thought the guy was sensational in this movie? Man, he must not be watching many movies, because if you think Simon Rex is good in this, man, you got another thing coming, motherfucker. Man, you need your eyes checked, bitch. Son of a cocksucker. Damn it, man. Okay, look, let's talk about Simon Rex. Okay, let's do it, because, you know, it might be the only time I ever really get to talk about Simon Rex, and honestly, it might be the only time I ever really want to. Oh, Lord. You know, look, man, this guy is really fucking annoying. I'm not even gonna lie, man. This guy got on my every fucking nerve when watching this movie. He wouldn't shut the fuck up. His character is so goddamn annoying, every single aspect. He's manipulative, he's a user, he's an abuser, he's a loser. My God, man. And Simon Rex, I guess, yes, you know, I guess, sure, he is sensational in it because he played it perfectly. He was annoying as shit. Good job, Simon. You did a great job at being annoying and a complete douchebag, man. Congratulations. Give him the fucking Oscar, for Christ's sake. My God, man. He played it like a fucking fiddle, man. That motherfucker. You know, look. He might have done a decent job, I guess, right? In encompassing the role, embodying the role, becoming the annoying douchebag character. Oh, man, what a fucking stretch. Jesus, man. But honestly, everyone's like, oh, look, the comeback of Simon Rex. Wait a minute. In order for there to be a fucking comeback, didn't they have to actually have a fucking career in the first place? Like, seriously. Like, don't call it a comeback, motherfucker, because this definitely is not one of them, man. This guy never really made it. I mean, I guess if you think being in Scary Movie 3, Scary Movie 4, Scary Movie 5 is making it, then sure, have at it, man. But honestly, the law of diminishing returns really went down the shitter with those movies. Honestly, after the second one, I hope you're up for a hell of a lot of Charlie Sheen jokes, because if you are, hey, man, have at it. But son of a bitch, man. God, this guy is so stupid. And he's so annoying, and he's so idiotic, and he's been that way for a really long time. It's not just the Scary Movie films that he was that way in. He's been in a lot of other shit that was that bad. Like Avengers of Justice, Farce Wars. Oh, wait a minute. You've never seen it? Oh, be thankful. Be very thankful that you have not subjected your eyes to that piece of shit. Thank God, man, what a craptastic movie that is. And yet another parody movie. My God, he's got a million of them in his filmography. Like superhero movie. Oh, you remember that hot steamy pile of garbage? Oh Lord, I hope you don't, because boy, it ain't worth your time. An hour and a half absolutely wasted. Just like Pledge This. Oh, you've never heard of Pledge This? with Paris Hilton? Oh, it's a college fraternity comedy. Yeah, hilarious laughs with Paris Hilton. It's right up there with Animal House. Oh, Jesus. Oh, don't get me started. Oh, God. Oh, I'm sure that's one that he really highlights on his fucking resume. I mean, that one's really terrible. Oh, also Halloween. Wait a minute. That's another one you've never heard of? Halloween? You know what? Just stick with Charles Band, folks. Halloween is not worth your time, okay? Trust me, you gotta get really, and I mean really, fucking high to enjoy that piece of shit. Two Dudes in a Dream, anybody? Oh, you haven't heard about that one? That comedy classic? Man, what rock have you been living under? Oh my God, probably a safe one, I ain't gonna lie, man. I mean, basically it's just about two guys who are going through adventures in wild and weird Hollywood. Wow, what a gem of an idea. It's not like we haven't seen that shit a time or two, but oh boy, I've saved the best for last, man. Another parody classic, Shriek. If you know what I did last Friday the 13th. Hopefully never coming to a Dollar Tree near you. Oh man. From the year 2000, what a terrible piece of shit. That's probably got to be one of the worst parody movies of all time. And I thought it was bad with the scary movie sequels. You ain't seen nothing until you see that piece of shit. Oh my God, man. He just plays the dumb, oblivious idiot. That's what he does. And I suppose he does it well because he's been doing it enough goddamn times. He's done some college fraternity comedies here. He's done some parody movies there. But that's all. I mean, I guess if you want to say that Red Rocket is probably his godfather. And God, that's really fucking depressing. I mean, it really is. I guess maybe this is the high watermark of his career, man. It ain't gonna get any better than this, Simon, so lap it up while you can, baby. For whatever it's worth, man. God, it's hard to root for anybody in this movie. It's hard to care for anybody. And at the end of the day, I was just frustrated by everybody involved. It's such a terrible movie from top to bottom. I mean, maybe the acting is good, but if that's the only takeaway you get, fuck, you can watch a hell of a lot more better movies, man. I mean, Simon Rex is an oddity of an actor. Somebody who came up doing comedy movies, but he's just done these mundane flicks, not really memorable, and movies that really are just pale comparisons to the stuff they're parodying, for Christ's sake. Man, honestly, I don't know who's worse. I don't know if Pete Davidson is worse or fucking Simon Rex is worse. I guess at the end of the day, I'll give Simon Rex a little bit of credit. Pete Davidson might be fucking worse, okay? I mean, it reminds me of watching something like The King of Staten Island. I was just annoyed the fuck out of that movie. I thought it was worthless. Nobody was likable in that goddamn thing. It's the same here, man. You just can't root for anybody. You're annoyed by the fucking main character, and at the end, you just want the goddamn thing to be over. That's what it feels like. Man, Simon Rex. You know, if I never hear that name again, I'll be a very, very happy man. Hope we never cross paths again. Please to God, I hope we don't. Oh, Lord. Oh, look, there's commentary. Just what I want. Commentary from Simon Rex on his own fucking movie for him to praise his own fucking self. Great. Self-congratulatory, shit show. Just what I needed in my life. Yeah, I think I'll fucking pass. Fucking hell, man. $14.99? That is just too fucking high, bitch. God damn, man. Hopefully nobody buys that motherfucker. If I find who does, I'm pulling a Jay and Silent Bob and coming to their house and beating their ass. Son of a bitch, man. Well, they did have some physical media love. Some more than others, apparently. God help us all. Let's head out. Well, look at Best Buy doing their due diligence on the physical media love this week, and actually a hell of a lot of Steelbook love too. I was not expecting that, man. I mean, 15th anniversary Steelbook goodness, Shudder Steelbook love, and a mini Steelbook as well. Boy, the things you could find here at the Beast, baby. Oh my God. And even a little bit of new release love as well. And I gotta admit, so I saw this customer, this old lady, she bought a copy of that Bruce Willis movie on Blu-ray, American Siege. She bought it. I literally saw it with her hand, and I wanted to say something, but then I said to myself, I was like, well, I guess it's at least not Red Rocket. So, fair enough. I wholeheartedly will promote buying a straight-to-DVD Bruce Willis film over Red Rocket. Oh my god, man. Strange times we're living in, indeed. There's really some strange shit. I ain't gonna lie, man. But they definitely did their due diligence on the physical media love yet again. Maybe not all of the love, but just enough to definitely satisfy the appetite. Not bad. Not too shabby, baby. Hope you enjoyed it. I always do. So how about we head home and finish the video? Alright, everybody. That'll do it for the Blu-ray and DVD. Out and about video this week, and it wasn't half bad, all things considered. Some decent releases here, some decent releases there. Well, when we were able to find it. Yeah, I know, some places had a decent amount, others had jack shit, but that's the name of the game when it comes to physical media, isn't it? Yeah, I hate to admit it, but it really is, guys, especially nowadays. Not everything is guaranteed like it used to be, so you do your due diligence to go to every single place you possibly can, and hopefully you find some gems along the way, and I think we definitely did. Hope you guys picked up something good this week. There was a few things definitely worth checking out. Hope you did. Definitely let me know. As far as I'm concerned, I got some physical media this week. Of course I did, guys. I love my physical media, baby. I do indeed. A little bit of eBay package love? Yes. Well, I haven't bought it from eBay in quite a bit, so this is definitely worth it. The first thing I got from eBay is none other than a Code Red release, and that is The Dark. Oh, yes. A chilling tale of alien terror. Now, I know what you're saying to yourself. Wait a minute. Didn't this recently get an MVD release not too long ago? And yes, you are right, it did. With all the bells and whistles, slipcover, you name it. And weirdly enough, I didn't want that edition. I wanted the Code Red edition. Why? Well, because I have quite a few unique Code Red releases, and I wanted to add to the Code Red collection, so I wanted this one instead. I know I'm passing up on slipcover goodness. Man, am I catching a fever? It's not COVID. I just wanted the Code Red one indeed. And it also has the alternate artwork, which, by the way, I have a feeling the MVD one wouldn't have. So I want it. And it's got all the same special features anyway, so why not get it for a little bit cheaper? And I definitely did, because the good thing about re-releases is the fact that the original release is not as desirable anymore, so it goes lower in price. And when it does, I come a-calling. Oh, indeed I do, man. So I got it for a great price. It came factory sealed, great condition. So, man, I'm definitely loving it. And I do love this flick. It's 70s, kind of cheesy, ridiculous, but it's got some good creepy atmosphere to it, some really good kills. I kind of enjoy it for what it is, man. It's one of those releases that I've wanted for a while. It was kind of insane prices, but, you know, what a re-release will do. And it makes the original a little bit less desirable, and it makes me want to grab it on eBay for a lesser price, and indeed I did. Oh, so good, man. If you never got a chance to check out The Dark, definitely do it. You can either get the Code Red release or the MVD one, but either way, definitely well worth it. Not bad at all, baby. Not too shabby indeed. From one eBay release to another that I ended up getting, and that... oh, man. This is an upgrade that I've been wanting for quite a bit, and I finally pulled the trigger. Damn worth it, in my opinion. Damn worth it indeed. There's some really great stripper movies out there, but one that takes the cake above them all, and that is The Full Monty. You came along, you sexy thing. Oh my lord, do I love this fucking movie, man. I believe I saw this in the movie theater with my mother, man. I think I might have seen it, because I know I saw it in the movie theaters, and it had to be with my mother at that point. And, you know, it's so weird to see a movie like this with your mom, but I've just had really great times going to the movie theater with her, and this is another one, man. Just crazy wild times. But I love this movie. I love this movie so much, man. And it's kind of interesting because, you know, a while back I was talking about mid-budget movies and them not getting as much love anymore. And this was one of those movies that really absolutely came out of nowhere. It was this mid-budget movie that was a surprise hit for everybody. These older men stripping comedy, and the fact that it surprised the world was really a great moment where it was so cool to see this unknown movie really break through when a lot of these movies weren't really doing that and they were getting drowned out. And so it was great to see the Full Monty really become this mega hit, and I'm so happy that it did, man. I mean, the soundtrack blew up big time. A lot of these actors like Robert Carlyle went on to do some amazing work, and it's just absolutely phenomenal. It's funny, it's charming, it's witty, and it really stands the test of time. It really honestly does, man. I love this movie so much. I actually had the DVD edition, the US one, and I always loved the movie and I've always kept it in the collection, but I've always wanted to upgrade to Blu-ray. Now, the American release on Blu-ray, I didn't really like that artwork. It looked really terrible to me, man. And so I always kept the DVD, even though that has really terrible artwork also. So I figured, man, there's got to be a release out there that has really great artwork with all the great special features, and I found the UK Steelbook love. Yes, this is UK Steelbook goodness, man. And I'm like, oh, wow, I didn't even know it came with a Steelbook. And I was like, oh, dude, I got to get this. And so most of them I found were in the UK and mega prices to ship it over here. But I found a seller that was in the US, I believe in like California, and was selling it for dirt cheap. And I'm like, oh man, he says it's sealed, and I was just hoping it didn't come with any dings or any dents or anything, and it came in perfect condition. This is so great, man, to have. It really honestly is. And actually, true story, I'm going to lay this on the line, man. True story. So long ass time ago, I would say probably before leaving high school, we were low on money, me and my friends, and we were desperate to just grab some money and do a few things that we needed to do. And I had suggested to the guys, I said, well, how about we rent out this little like hall area that is not being used, and we do a strip show like the Full Monty. I seriously did do that, guys. And so me and my friends literally were considering it. We were getting money together. We were getting our dance routine together. We never ultimately did it. Okay, we never did. We didn't do it. But it was something that we came really damn close to doing. And so I always kind of look at this movie of like, wow, I almost pulled off a Full Monty myself. And that would have been wild, man. But I just love this movie. And I really think it's just so hilarious, and I think it really has stood the test of time in a big bad way. Absolutely classic. And I wanted the upgrade, and I figured if you're going to do upgrade from a standard DVD to a Blu-ray, well, you get a little Steelbook love, and I definitely wanted to. I love the artwork. Classic. So good, man. And it's got all the special features, the audio commentaries, the documentaries, you name it. It is jam-packed of a release, and the Steelbook love too. Can't deny it. Looks pretty damn sweet, guys. And add a little bit of male stripper comedy action in the collection. I think it's well worth it. Indeed I do, baby. Not half bad indeed. Pretty damn sweet. So those are the eBay purchases. However, there is one more, and it's a little bit of black bag mystery goodness. Oh, indeed it is. And speaking of black bag mystery, it's actually one I've really been looking forward to. A little Vestron video love. Oh man, this one is a blast from the frickin' past. But it is so good, man. Talk about a movie that's long overdue to get a good release on physical media. This one, oh, I definitely wanted to grab in a big bad way. Oh, I definitely did. So I got a little bit of black bag mystery love. I got a little bit of eBay purchase love. Oh, it was pretty damn good this week. Pretty damn good indeed. All things considered, baby. Not half bad for physical media love, dare I say. And before I let you guys go, I gotta talk about this. Now, it's a very fascinating, interesting read. And if you really think about it, Whether you are a streaming fan or a physical media fan, at least you can find the movie on one platform or another. But what if the movie goes missing entirely? There's a lot of movies out there that unfortunately don't have a release one way or another and simply just disappear from existence altogether. But maybe that might be changing. From The Guardian, we can't afford to lose them. The fight to bring missing movies back. Let's dive in, shall we? The Heartbreak Kid, Elaine May's uproarious 1972 comedy, celebrates its 50th anniversary this year. But if you want to hold an honorary screening at your house, there's no legitimate means for you to do so. The film, about a newlywed, Charles Grodin, who falls for a beautiful blonde Sybil Shepherd on his honeymoon, is not available on any streaming service. It's no longer being produced on DVD or Blu-ray, and not even Netflix's old DVD by mail service has a copy on hand. There are a few used discs available for purchase from individual sellers, but that's a risky and expensive proposition. Your only real option is to watch a pirated copy on YouTube where it looks awful. The reason you can't see The Heartbreak Kid legitimately is because a pharmaceutical company doesn't want you to. Seriously. It's true, guys. Bristol Myers Squibb owns the rights to the film, a holdover from the brief period in the 1970s when its executives decided it would be cool to be in the movie business. Why not? In 2021, the company has announced no plans to sell the rights to an actual distributor. It's strange. Even as Elaine May has become a cause célèbre in film circles for her underappreciated work in the 1970s, The Heartbreak Kid is no closer to finding its audience. This is where Missing Movies comes in, a new advocacy organization composed of filmmakers, distributors, and film lovers. Missing Movies has a mission to locate lost materials, clear rights, and advocate for policies and laws to make the full range of our cinema history available to all. On its website is an initial list of missing movies, including The Heartbreak Kid, and the group has asked for help in expanding this list. Its initial goal is to draw attention to the problem, making viewers aware that the convenience of streaming services does not equate to widespread access to cinema history. Many films have already been lost, and without a concerted effort, another great purge could be on the way. The popular conception among film fans is that 70 to 80% of silent films are missing, and that's true, says Dennis Doros of Milestone Films and a member of the Missing Movies Working Group. I would say that with the digital tsunami that's coming, that could be just as viable a percentage of total films unavailable in the world. In 2017, film archivists at Martin Scorsese's The Film Foundation estimated that half of all American films made before 1950 are now lost, and none of the major distributors are itching to find them. Streaming services may offer the appearance of an infinite choice, but so many of them are increasingly focused on original programming, creating a bottleneck that squeezes out any film without a quantifiable audience. With algorithms designed to only show viewers what they already want to see, there are frighteningly few ways for a film to get back in, which is incredibly true and really frightening if you think about it. One such film is I Shot Andy Warhol, a 1996 biopic of Valerie Solanas, a radical feminist author who wrote a manifesto urging the killing of all men and eventually tried to put her thesis into practice by shooting the titular guru of pop art. Holy shit. Despite winning an award at the Sundance Film Festival and earning largely positive reviews, the film has suffered the same fate as The Heartbreak Kid. It's simply not available. Its director, Mary Herron, who is part of the working group of Missing Movies, explains the problem succinctly. Most indie films are produced by small companies, and most of them go bankrupt. This is especially true of films in the 80s and 90s when new independent production companies were being created daily. Herron says I Shot Andy Warhol was sold 3 times before it was even released due to the ephemerality of the film distribution business. It has been a struggle for her to even determine who owns her first film, let alone convince them to distribute it or sell the rights to a company that actually will. Beyond the legal red tape, there are cultural issues that define a film's availability. When you look at the kind of films that are not available, explains Amy Heller, co-founder of Milestone Film and Video, a boutique distribution company, and Missing Movies, you see documentaries about poor people. Native Americans, queer people, disabled people, these images are part of our world and we can't afford to lose them. Black directors are overrepresented on the list of missing movies, with films from Charles Burnett, Ossie Davis, and William Greaves currently undistributed. Kiss of the Spider-Woman, an Oscar-nominated film about a gay revolutionary, remains unavailable, while the Denzel Washington starter Mississippi Masala, about an interracial romance in the American South, was missing for years until Criterion announced it would be adding the film to its collection this spring. For some, the issue of availability starts when a film is first released. If a film doesn't capture the zeitgeist, it becomes harder to secure its legacy, and female filmmakers like May and Herron are perfect test cases. Their movies were celebrated at the time, but they both came up in eras when the press was distracted by new crops of male filmmakers and neither fit neatly into the narrative. May began making films when the new Hollywood crew of Scorsese, Coppola, Spielberg, and Lucas were soaking up all the attention, while Herron burst onto the Sundance scene at the same time as Paul Thomas Anderson, David Fincher, and Quentin Tarantino. There was an unconscious bias that relegated films like mine or Elaine May, says Herron, and the things I was criticized for in I Shot Andy Warhol would be seen in a different light today. Female filmmakers already deal with challenges at every stage of production that men don't face. But it's shocking that in 2022, with the market for women-directed films so well established, these filmmakers are still fighting to get their work seen to this day. This is true for all filmmakers of all underrepresented demographics, but even if missing movies films get distribution, who will actually see them? When The Heartbreak Kid gets its long-awaited distribution, students of film history will celebrate its release like it's Christmas morning. But how will more casual movie fans even find it? I Shot Andy Warhol will surely show up on a streaming service at some point, but will the young women with whom it might resonate the most be able to actually find it there? For some, if it's not promoted or highlighted on the homepage, it might as well not even exist. There are perhaps unsolvable problems inherent in a movie landscape dominated by streamers, but at this point, simply saving movies from the dustbin of history is a worthy short-term goal. These images are part of our world, according to Heller, and we can't afford to lose them. We definitely cannot, and it's a worthy effort. Indeed it is, guys. This is something that I wholeheartedly, 100%, wholeheartedly agree with. No doubt. Absolutely no doubt whatsoever, man. And by the way, I think it's something that people should be doing more often, because I grew up with parents who loved cinema, who loved movies, and I saw a broad range of movies, absolutely a broad range of films that to this day I'm so glad that I got to experience. It didn't matter whether it was kung fu, action, sci-fi, horror, romance, comedy. I was exposed to it all. And a lot of those movies that I were exposed to, by the way, are ones that are never even talked about nowadays. They're just simply swept under the rug and no one even cares about them. And it's such a damn shame that we've forgotten about a lot of these movies that really were influencers to so many other movies that more people know about now than the old stuff that they should know about even more. It's really insane to me, and it's kind of sad, actually. I mean, I've always talked to you guys about streaming and how the streaming wars are this huge, gigantic entity, and they are. And a lot of these streamers are too big to fail, and what that means, as I've always said, is the fact that these streamers have to have content coming to your eyes constantly, beaming you with every single thing that they have at their arsenal, and hopefully you stay subscribed or subscribe to them if you haven't already. Okay? Fair enough. But that means original content. Yes, they're keeping their old stuff in their library, but they're not actually either promoting it or finding any of the older stuff that might be worth it to keep around. So it's all original content, and they're pushing all of the old stuff to the back. Or even if they're on the homepage, they might be on the homepage during like a holiday time, right? But if it's not a holiday time, and some of those movies aren't technically considered a holiday movie, they're just going to get relegated to the back. These streamers want content, right? But they want content to just put content on their platform. They don't want to put the content to actually promote it, per se, but to just have it for the sake of adding more content to the table. And that's where the algorithm hell comes in. You have no idea when my girlfriend and I are sitting down watching a movie or wanting to watch some content on Netflix or something like that, and we're putting in certain code words, right? You know, whether it's something to do with cats or whatever, and literally the list is so long of stuff. And I'm literally scrolling down and I'm like, Netflix has this? Like, I was shocked because I couldn't believe some of the stuff that they had that I would have never known that they had if I didn't start doing some sort of search words to maybe find it or find stuff that was out of the ordinary. But even though I do that and maybe you guys do that, how many people really do? There's not many that do. If you don't find it on the homepage, like I said, you're not finding it at all, man. And that's a really big shame. And on top of that, look, I'm also going to be a little hard on physical media here because a lot of these great movies, these old school movies, are getting trapped. And they're not even coming out on physical media. A lot of these companies, unfortunately, like an Arrow or a Criterion. I mean, Criterion is a little bit better because they are investing in a lot of these more out of the ordinary films that you might not have heard of. Even companies like Severin, 88 Films, Second Sight, I mean, they put out some really great movies. But what I'm noticing now, right, is I'm noticing that a lot of these companies are just re-releasing the same stuff over and over again in different editions. Sometimes these companies announce two different versions at the same time. Like, literally, Arrow announced a 4K and Scream Factory announced a 4K of Candyman at the same fucking time, okay? That's great, wonderful. How many times has Candyman been released on physical media? God knows how many times. It's the same thing with Alien and Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Predator and Terminator, you name it. Those movies get releases ad nauseum. And I know what you guys are going to say. You guys are going to say to me, well, those are popular movies. Of course they're going to get re-released over and over and over again because that's just the name of the game, right? And there's a part of me that does agree with you. Absolutely. But also, what about these unknown movies? What about these missing movies that deserve a physical media release? At least just one, if not more. Just one, man. And doesn't get nearly enough love to even gain that as it is. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I really appreciated something like Twilight Time. I mean, yes, I did have problems with them, but the fact that they released a lot of old, obscure movies that were ones that didn't get a lot of love at the time and were very underappreciated and really had to dig in the vault for them, I really appreciate that. I mean, maybe they weren't big sellers, maybe they weren't the ones that people were flocking to, but the fact that they took a gamble to release some of these old school films from the 50s and earlier really surprised me, and it surprised me in a pleasant way, man. And I just don't feel that a lot of studios are really going to take that gamble anymore. I mean, they will to a certain extent, but for the most part, a lot of these boutique labels are really looking at the bottom line, and they're looking at the fact that if they can't package it and sell it in a unique way, then they're just not going to deal with it, man. And that's a goddamn shame. And the major studios, like a Universal, Disney, Paramount, Warner Brothers, you name it, they're not going to release these films because, number one, they have no interest in them whatsoever. They really don't care about these ones because they're mainly movies that no one really remembers, and so how much copies do they think they're really going to sell? And on top of that, sometimes the rights get absolutely lost. I mean, think about this. The Heartbreak Kid, as the article says, is literally owned by a drug manufacturer company. I mean, that's wild to me, man. Just think about this for a second. To literally do your research and go and look at who owns the distribution rights for this film or that film and who owns the region for the UK versus the United States and the different cuts of the films. I mean, some films literally are languishing in distribution hell. They literally could be in a mining cave somewhere, lost forever. I mean, back in the day, everything got so messed up and so skewed, and there's so many production companies out there that owns a certain percentage of a right to this film and to that film, and there's no clear-cut way to ever figure out who owns the rights to one thing over another. And you have to also remember that, once a production company who owns the rights to one film, they go bankrupt, they end up just going belly up, and suddenly that rights revert to somebody else and another production company, and that production company goes out of business, then it reverts over to somebody else, and then another person ends up buying the rights, and then they end up dying, and then it going to their kids, and then their kids don't really care, and then it just languishes in whatever fucking pit of despair. It is so fascinating to me to realize that so many films literally have gotten trapped in one way or another, man. And the fact that these filmmakers have no control over the stuff that they've actually directed. The fact that filmmakers like Mary Harron are still fighting to get their own movies out because they don't even know who owns the goddamn things. And that's the crazy thing about it. Just because you direct a movie, just because you star in a movie, doesn't mean that you're guaranteed to have it out there to the masses. You're not guaranteed shit, man. Just as the article says, there's literally a Denzel Washington directed movie that is just now coming to Criterion. Before, no one else could have even really seen the damn thing that much, but now it finally is going to see the light of day. That's crazy. Denzel Washington, major movie star, high-profile actor, and even some of his movies are getting drowned out. That is fucking insane to me, guys. And so, nowadays, you don't really have to worry about it as much as you used to, because again, something will find its way on streaming, but again, it's going to get caught in algorithm hell. A lot of times, stuff will come out on DVD, Blu-ray, or 4K, but unfortunately, unless it's something that has the potential to sell a lot of units, a lot of these companies just aren't interested anymore, man. And the ones that used to be interested are just no longer around, man. And so I really feel bad for a lot of these old school movies from the 1910s, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, so on. And a lot of these movies, even from the 60s and 70s, a lot of movies still get caught up in this trap that unfortunately they just can't break out of. It really is unfortunate. It's unfortunate the fact that some of these producers out there who own the rights to this are really greedy, and unless you pay them a lot of money, they don't even want to see this thing out there in the masses. I mean, if you think about something like Dawn of the Dead, the idea that Richard Rubinstein owns Martin, Dawn of the Dead, and some other Romero movies, and the fact that he has said numerous times that you have to pay him a certain fee to get these movies out there to the masses, and if you don't, he is not going to even entertain that idea. Scream Factory has come out and said that they have tried to get Dawn of the Dead as much as humanly possible and a few other ones, and he just wants too much money, and they just can't do it, man. I mean, thankfully, you see some company like Second Sight putting out something like Dawn of the Dead, thankfully, finally, but the fact that they had to pony up as much money as they probably did for a title like that, and they had to go all out on the packaging and the releasing and make their money back, because if not, then it wouldn't have been worth it for them. So even sometimes when that happens, some of these releases, there is so much money that you have to pay for these releases, but unfortunately the reason why is because they had to license this product from a certain producer or a company, and the price was so incredibly high that they need to upcharge you guys in order to do it. So there's so much that goes into this. It's not as simple as just putting a movie out there. There's so many extra things of paying the producers, paying the company, finding the negatives. And even when all is said and done, if it's not worth it to put it out because you don't think it's going to sell as much, then it's just going to either get an incredibly bare bones release that doesn't get any sort of announcement or any sort of big hoopla. It just comes out there and no one even knows it exists, or it just gets lost forever and doesn't even get something. You look at something like Prom Night 2, Hello Mary Lou. Holy shit, has that fucking been in hell for the longest time. You look at something like Fright Night 2. Okay, Fright Night 2 has been in literally hell. There's a great special feature guy who does a lot of great stuff on a lot of these releases called Michael Felcher. He's talked about how Fright Night 2 is literally in distribution hell. That they don't know who owns the rights to which and who owns the rights to what. It's an absolute fucking mess, dude. And that's just for movies that are in the 80s. That doesn't include all the older shit as well. This is a big dilemma. It really honestly is, man. And is way more movies that are lost than you can ever possibly imagine. So I am 100% on board with this group doing what they're doing. Because honestly, I really do feel like movies are so precious. And movies are so amazing and need to be preserved. We need to preserve film and cinema. Even the most cheesiest movies of all time, we need to preserve. Why? Because they deserve to be seen not only for historical purposes, for the fact that there is entertainment value in them. And even if I may not like it or you might not like it, somebody will. And it's worth keeping it alive for that, man. I do really believe that this is the right thing to do. And I do really believe that this is a worthy cause. There's so many things to fight for in this world. Maybe this is not the most important thing of all time, but as a lover of movies, as a lover of cinematic history, I really feel that if we lose these films, then that is a real shame, because there's so much effort that goes into making a movie, especially back in the day, and to just see it all for naught really is sad to me, man. And I don't want to see those movies lost forever. So tonight, before you go to your collection and you pick out something to watch, or you're going on the latest streaming platform and you're going to have a movie night with your friends, family, loved ones, girlfriend, boyfriend, it doesn't matter. Be thankful that these movies are available. Be thankful that you have access to a huge library of movies. Doesn't matter whether it's a physical copy or on a digital platform. The fact that they are there for you to enjoy for your entertainment, because there are so many movies out there, so many that have been lost to time, that are long forgotten and lost forever. And as somebody who loves cinema, as somebody who sees a lot of historical value and the benefits of preservation, the fact that they may never find a home, the fact that they may never be found at all, is really depressing to me, is extremely sad. And honestly, we live in a world where technology is so plentiful nowadays. To see this happen, whether it's because of the fact that it's not advantageous for these companies to do it, there's no money involved in it for them to really feel like it's worth it for them, or the fact that producers are greedy or rights are completely messed up. There's so many reasons why a film can get lost nowadays, and especially the old school films. Unfortunately, things that my mother grew up with, things that I grew up with, and many of us did, I can't even find anymore. And so it's literally my memory that is holding on to these movies, and it's just a really damn shame. No matter what, let's hope that they all find a home one way or another, and let's hope that this organization, this group, is successful, because I gotta tell you that for me, it really is a passion for me seeing the older movies get released, seeing them get a lot of love. And we are literally in the golden age of movie love nowadays. Getting these physical media releases that I never thought I'd ever see the day that some of these movies have gotten releases, and seeing streaming platforms that have such the variety that they do. We have so much at our disposal now. We have so much at our fingertips. And the fact to see these movies that are lost and can never be found again, that is just extremely disappointing to me. And that should never be even an option, the fact that these things are gone. And so I want this organization to succeed. I want these movies to be found and to be enjoyed by everyone as much as humanly possible, because there's value and enjoyment in a film no matter what. And every film deserves its day. and these films especially do. Absolutely 100%. Let me know what you think about this, guys. Truly, it's a passion for me, and hopefully it's a passion for you. Definitely let me know, and hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, definitely give it the thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Check out the other Blu-ray and DVD out and about videos, movie hunting like Dollar Tree hunting, movie reviews, Blu-ray pickups, live streams, you name it. There is so much on the channel. All that content out there. Hope you enjoy it. If you do, definitely hit subscribe and become a part of the Film Fan Nation. I want to thank my really great subscribers. You guys are amazing, awesome. You give me the love and support, and hopefully I give the love right back to you. So thank you so much. Hit that notification bell to be notified every single time that I make a video. Keep up to date with everything I'm doing through Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Film Fan 108. Keep up to date with everything I'm doing, plus special pictures and videos I do from time to time on social media as well. And also, if you want to send the channel any movie related love, you definitely can. Posters, care packages, physical media, you name it, you can do it. The P.O. box in the description below. It is really appreciated whatever you guys send, because I've gotten some amazing stuff and you guys have always really asked where to send stuff, and the P.O. box is the place to do it, and I can't wait to see where the Avengers take me next. It'll always be fun. You guys send me some amazing things out there, so thank you for all the love and support on that as well. And I guess that will do it for the video, guys. So much to talk about this week and so much more coming up, so definitely stay tuned, and I will see you back next week for a brand new Blu-ray and DVD out and about video. Take care, everybody, and remember, happy hunting.